Live. Hello and welcome back to Think Outside the Blocks, the weekly live stream where we talk to you about thinking outside of the perceived rigidity of the Lego medium, also thinking outside of your mental blocks as you are creating your own mocks. I, of course, am Mark Larson, Chief Brick Officer of Brickworld, and here's my co-host, everyone's favorite host, Mr. Ben Hauger. Ben Hauger, how are you doing this week?
I am on the left, so all is good.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been a very long weekend.
Why is that?
So we can get into that. Well, so yesterday was the official grand opening of Bricks and Minifigs Roseville.
Yeah.
I had a couple of mocks there for the public to enjoy.
Yeah.
But my Saturday also involved not only doing that, Mara had dance, so we were in and out with that. Miles had a basketball game, so I had to come for that.
Yeah.
And then we had to clean the house up because my daughter is turning 8 in a couple weeks, had her birthday party today. And 11 screaming little girls in my house this afternoon.
Always fun.
Will tire you out. I don't care who you are, how young you are. 11 screaming 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
It's trouble.
Well, let's not bury the lead. Does Mara have any new artwork to share with us?
She doesn't yet, but she probably will. Because several of her friends know that she is an artiste. And so she got 2 different art sets.
Oh, good.
As part of her presence. So that gives me joy to know that she will undoubtedly be doing some creating with that.
What's her medium?
She does everything. Marker, paint. You've seen her do the paint a few times.
Yes.
One of the things that she's really into right now is she has some fashion sketchbook things that have kind of pre-made dolls and some stencils and some other stuff.
Cool.
So she does a lot of that, both pencil sketch and then color as well. So
got to get the creative started early.
Yes. Of my 2 children, I think she is more on that track. Miles is more into sports. So,
yeah.
You've
told us that, but also you and Miles have built together.
We have. Yep. We've collabed and he wants to collab again this year.
Yeah. And he does concept sketches. He does a little bit of artwork to make sure you're basing your mock off the right thing.
Right. And then he does minifigure posing, which is also very critical to tell the story of the mock.
No kidding.
Yeah. So those are his specialties for sure.
So don't write him off yet?
I won't. We'll still do our collaboration. But I'll tell you, he's not interested in spending his downtime with a sketchbook. He wants to play Madden or watch YouTube videos about sports. So
yeah, makes sense.
Yep.
Before we get started tonight, let's check in with the Tainted. Rob Claxton, always the overachiever, was here first. Paige Pritchard, of course, is here tonight. Brick Orphanage, who is in Minnesota, not Australia. It's not Lego Team B. It's the Brick Orphanage, right? MG is here and says ciao.
Hi, MG.
MG's a new Tainted, are they not?
I don't recognize MG, but hey, we will always take new viewers.
Oh, always happy for that.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, if you are a new viewer or an old viewer and you like us and you would like to know when we're going to go live, we're going to post new videos because we have a new video posted just a few hours ago on a new topic altogether. And if you want to know what we're doing and what we're offering to the Lego community, you can always like and subscribe to our stream, to our channel. And you're always welcome to comment if we're live or not. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love for you to join the Tainted. And of course, as always, Charlie Kaufman is here. Says, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Charlie Kaufman. Thank you for joining us. I love very much that Charlie Kaufman is part of the Tainted because I met Charlie Kaufman during the pandemic, during our virtual shows. That's when that's when he got into the shows, was when we were doing virtual shows. I was like, I hope your mind has been blown by the in-person shows since then, because I know very well that he was impressed and inspired by the virtual shows. So hopefully you're very much liking the in-person and weekly live stream aspect of the Brick World brand. Ben, what do we got going tonight?
Well, I'm glad you asked because, of course, I happen to know.
I don't.
This week's letter is V.
V. What?
V for virtual, but also V for valuable.
Yeah.
We're feeling like the Tainted is very, very valuable addition to our live stream. But first, we're going to talk a little bit about your vacation. Then we'll get. Oh, there's a preview.
Vacation cough. Yep.
Yep. And then we'll get into
Sorry.
the vital segment for Think Outside the Blocks, which is, of course, talking about our mocks.
Yes. Did you build this week?
I did a little bit of work, not a lot, but I do need some help. So I think it'll be perfect that we can talk about
I love
what
it.
I am working on, because I'm a little stuck, and I think you guys can help me out here.
Yes.
We'll talk about some early pictures for some sets that are coming out. I want to talk Valentine's Day for 2 reasons. We'll get to that.
You
And
want
then last but
to
not
talk,
least,
right? You want to talk hedgehogs?
of
Yes.
course, I want to talk about the hedgehogs. I still haven't built the set, but it's,
Why would you?
I don't know. On Valentine's Day, I feel like I should build it. And then we're going to talk a little bit about variety.
Ben,
Because
should we have a special Valentine's live stream where we build hedgehogs?
well, probably not, and we'll talk about why not.
Oh, okay.
And then next show's next week, as far as I know, unless you're going on vacation again.
I doubt it.
Okay. All right.
You never know because they just keep cropping up this year. Matt,
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about your vacation.
okay, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
I was on the ocean. It was amazing. I love the ocean. The ocean very much reminds me of my father. And the at-sea days are my favorite. And just being on a ship in the middle of the ocean, being able to see so much. I went out on my terrace one day, which we had in our cabin, an extra large terrace. So we were right at the bow. The reason it was extra large is because it bumped out before all the what they call rock star suites on V for Virgin cruises. And there was a seagull following the ship. And I was like, I know we're not close enough to land for a seagull to be following the ship. So I wanted to see what it was up to and see if it was like diving on the decks, like picking up food off things. And it turned out to be an egret.
Yeah.
It was diving into the water. And I was like, fucking cool. Right. I was like, this is amazing just to see like this seabird that dives down into the water. And then there was another flock of birds, like a very bright white flock of birds. And I was like, I know we're in the middle of the Caribbean Sea. And then as I watched the little flock of white birds, I realized it was a school of flying fish.
Oh, very cool.
It was a highlight of my trip. I watched them for a long time. And then Matt came back from hanging out with his friends. And they're our friends. We were all there together. But I was like, they're all Matt's friends first. So I was like I had a bit of a like leeway to like just be out by myself. So I was like, I hope everyone believes me. So I'm trying to like record it. And he came out and he saw them. And I was able to point them out. And he like his vision is not as acute as mine, but he was able to see them and they fly forever. And that was very, very cool. Had a great time with our friends, had a great time doing the shore excursions. And on Thursday, which was 4 days before we went home, I was in the medical bay with 102 fever. And I was sick from then till now. I'm still sick. And it's a lot to like try to drum up the energy just to this right now.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like the flu that I had. So probably
Yeah.
some version of influenza A that you have going there. You
No,
look like you have some big old bags under your eyes. Like
I
you're
do.
pretty tired.
There's many reasons for that.
Okay.
So they test you for flu and COVID on the ship because if you have either, they want to quarantine you, right? So I had neither. And by what they heard in my lungs and saw in my ears, they thought I had a bacterial infection. So they gave me an antibiotic. Once that course of antibiotics was done, I'm still very sick. And the doctor on the ship even said, like, it might be a little bit of both. And it's kind of this thing like post COVID where we had our lockdown. I rarely got sick before COVID, but I picked up every respiratory thing that's gone around. Every time you see something in the news, like there's a respiratory infection going around, I've caught it. And one of the reasons the bags under my eyes are like this is because like my I can't believe I'm going to say this. My existential dread got to me, and they had a skin doctor on the boat, and I did Botox.
Okay.
I did Botox the first day we were at sea.
Okay. Hey, give it a try.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
And don't they tell you that it kind of looks like that for like a week and then it's supposed to clear up and give you a nice tight look or something? But
Yeah, but you know what my problem is with it is that like I can't express myself the way I normally do. I have a very expressive face,
yeah.
and now half of it's paralyzed.
Well,
And one of the reasons, like, one of the things I've always had a problem with is I've had these lines in my forehead since I was 16 years old, right? And because I'm very expressive with my face, I move my eyebrows a lot, I move my eyes a lot. But it turns out it wasn't just like personality and like that sort of like expressiveness. Very functional. My brow is very low, so unless I look like this, I can't fully see the world because my brow is so low. It actually gets in the way of my vision. So I'm partially blinded. Peripherally, I can't see up here at all. And I'm like, I can't wait until these muscles reactivate. I'm now fine with whatever wrinkles come up. It's my personality, it's who I am. I'm gonna age. I'm gonna try to age gracefully. I got some very good advice about daily skin regimen from that doctor on the ship. I'll stick to that. I will never inject botulism in my face again in my life.
hey, you live, you learn. You
Yeah,
tried it. Now you know.
now I do
Um,
know. But thank you for the vacation recap. It was an amazing trip. I think honestly, getting sick when I did, which was over halfway through the trip, it gave Matt the opportunity to like hang out with his friends and just like not worry about me because I was dead asleep. My fever broke 5 days in a row. I've never had that happen in my life before. Usually, if I get sick and my fever needs to break, it breaks once. And when you're traveling and that keeps happening, and you're like, it's 1 a.m. and I'm calling housekeeping again.
come change my sheets.
Can you bring me dry sheets? And then wait
Uh,
Matt to be like, hey, I have to change the sheets. Oh, to their credit, they let me just take the sheets. They're like, hey, we can change them for you. And I was like, please don't make me feel like a butthole. I'm like, please go back to whatever you were doing and resting. They're probably asleep. I mean, they're there 24/7. And it's like, but
yeah.
it happened in the hotel in San Juan too. Oh God. I don't know what
Well, there
it is,
you go.
but
But
I can't wait till it's gone. Yeah.
let's see. The tainted didn't have a lot to say about your vacation, but Charlie mentions that he did Brick World Chicago and Grand Rapids this year. So yes,
Yes.
excited about the in-person shows.
Charlie was amazing in Grand Rapids. Charlie was very, how would you say, prevalent.
Yep.
Charlie was always there to see if we needed help. We we utilize that because we need people to step into positions when we're overwhelmed, people that we didn't know we would have. And Grand Rapids was much busier than we thought we would. And Charlie is just kind of like one of these people who just loves the community, so he'll do whatever you ask him. And I appreciate Charlie very much. In Chicago, I know he was there. I know I talked to him. I don't remember much more than that. Chicago is a blur for me always.
Yeah,
So
for sure. Z Spouse points out the next week is the Super Bowl, so I'm not going to be here apparently.
I'm
I
not
will be watching the Super Bowl and then Taylor Swift.
same. Should we call it off for next week?
Well, either we'll call it off or we'll record something.
That's a good idea. If we get together Saturday afternoon and record something to play it for whoever wants to see it, but I will also be engaged in the Super Bowl.
All right. Well,
Uh,
we'll
Good.
do something. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll do something great.
But we won't be live.
You know?
Rob Claxton says I'm getting ready for Atlanta Brick Con. That's happening this coming weekend, along with my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday!
Tomorrow. Happy birthday, Tainted.
And V for Valentine's Day.
And B for Valentine's Day.
So, Charlie, tell me, what's the temperature down there right now? Hey, Lego Team B is from Australia. Charlie, again, what's the temperature down in Atlanta right now?
Do you have any snow on the ground in Chicago right now?
No, we have a lot of mud.
Yeah,
like a lot.
here.
Yeah.
Today it was 36 and sunny, and it was warm in the car just from the sun beating in. Felt like I had to drive with the window down. That's ridiculous in February in Minnesota.
Friday afternoon, I took the dogs to the dog park. It was 51 degrees.
Did you wear your uniform, or did you wear something with sleeves at least?
I wore, so the wind chill from the lake made it feel like it was 45.
Okay. So that needs a windbreaker or something then, right?
I had gloves and pants and 2 jackets, my hood, my rugby scarf. It was a very dog park uniform than you're used to seeing.
Yeah, that's completely different. I don't know if I can handle that. That's too much.
Oh, it's way too much fabric on Mark.
Okay, well, hey, I'm glad you recovered and that you had some fun. Your dad was a sailboat guy, right?
Very, very much so. And so, like, to be on the boat and see my dad. So this 2 days ago was the anniversary of his death. It's been 12 years, and Z and I have this. I don't know if anybody else on here knows us this well, but Z and I have this in common, that we both lost parents way too early. And the part of what I really liked about being sick on the ship. Oh shit! Sorry guys. Whew, was I spent a lot of time just out on the balcony because I was very sick and I needed to get air, and I can go out on the balcony, and we're in the middle of Caribbean Sea, and so you could see all the constellations, and I saw Orion, which is my dad's favorite constellation, which is what my dog is named after, and so it was just like a very cathartic moment to be at sea and see Orion with the anniversary of my dad's death approaching. So it was a nice time for me to just have time to myself. So, as much as it sucks to still be sick now, and I've been sick now for 10 days, it afforded me a lot of time for reflection. It afforded me a lot of time to just kind of not only remember what I've lost, but still kind of think about what's not healed yet. It takes a long time. If anybody in the Tainted, or Ben, I don't know if this has been your experience, this sort of thing, this sort of loss, it never goes away. It certainly gets better, but it really never goes away, and you never know when it's going to creep up. So,
right. Yeah, and you and I have talked about this. I came to Brickworld shortly after my mom passed away. Back to Brickworld, I had missed several years.
In the same year as your mom passed.
Yeah, but we had registered to come, to hope that she would be able to come as well. And it didn't work out. It was unfortunate, right? But we talked a lot about small signs, and just the things that don't seem to make sense to anyone else.
Yeah.
But they make sense to you, especially when you feel that that hurt or that connection. And yeah, I mean, it's always hard every time the anniversary comes up. Every time you're experiencing something that they loved. It's hard to both feel it, but you also have some gratitude, I think.
Yes.
That you're remembering, because that's the other thing, and I'm sure you experience this too. I feel racked with guilt all the time when I don't think about my mom when I probably should.
Yes, 1,000%. I was really sick on my dad's death anniversary this year, and so it took me until I saw I knew on February 1st it was about to be February 2nd, and I was like, I'm gonna watch this movie, I'm gonna watch this movie, I'm gonna watch this movie, and then I woke up really late, and I was behind on work, And it wasn't until I saw the text from my mom and sister that I was like, oh yeah, today's the day. I knew this yesterday. I knew this 12 hours ago. Um, I think what I really remember about your specific experience was the beautiful story you told about the comma spaceship. I think about that all the time, just about like life being a comma,
Yep.
because I'm a grammar guy. That means a lot to me, and it's beautiful that your mom had that like knowledge of foresight. Oh wow! Hey, where are we going tonight? Like,
Hey, we'll get back on track.
yeah.
It's okay.
Do you mind? Would you be okay telling that story, or should we leave it just at what I said?
No, I
Either
mean we
okay.
can we can. So part of with my mom, Mark's experience, his dad had a stroke and it was unexpected and very fast. On the other hand, my mom had cancer, and part of that was, you know, it's a roller coaster with cancer. Yeah, we're getting very deep today, but we'll roll with it. We'll roll with it like the waves.
We're thinking outside the box.
Yeah, we're thinking outside the box. We're thinking outside of everything Lego just for a minute here. But part of that with cancer is there's always ups and downs. You get some diagnosis information, and it could be this, it could be that. One's really positive, one's not so positive. At first it was 50-50 depending on what it was. Well, as the days went past, and I think I found out that she had cancer around Halloween or so. Um, and so after a couple of tests, they'd said, "Oh, she's got neuroendocrine cancer. It is not treatable, but you can live a decently long time with it." So part of that for her was, there wasn't a cure, but you're going to have a some time to, live some more of your life. It ended up being a much shorter time frame. But in the interim, while she had time to sort of process and think about this, knowing you're terminal, she did some reflection on what that might mean. And sort of, my mom was an English teacher. So one of the things that kind of came up out of this was that, what she was going through wasn't going to be a period on her life, it would be a comma. So, sort of this idea that it's a pause, and that, in the future, there would be a continuation of some sort. And so that was really the inspiration. I think my Eurobricks handle is still just a red comma. I haven't changed it. So I built a spaceship to come back uh, to Brickworld that year, and it's a red comma with kind of a white outline. It looks like a comma. I still have it, and I bring it with me when I go to new shows. So it came with me when I went to Milwaukee the first time. It came with me when I went to Kansas City when we did that show.
Yeah.
If I go back to Holiday Joy, it'll probably come with me if I display something. Might wear a Santa hat, who knows? But that was sort of, I would say more than anything, probably the year that I needed Brickworld the most. And it was very nice to be able to get there and see some of my friends, and to some extent be able to get my mind off it, but also heal, also talk about what happened with Mark,
Yeah.
who had experienced a similar loss right around a brick world as well. So yeah, I mean, it was a lot. Um, Mark's seen me cry. I've seen Mark cry. That was definitely part of it. And for us, like I said, small things kind of remind you of the beauty of it all and everything else. And I would get fortune cookies around that time that always seemed to say something about my mom or my mom's journey.
Oh my God, I forgot all about
So
that.
so that's another thing, where it's like, it doesn't make sense, it shouldn't make sense, but I was getting things that were like signs that your departed loved one is still with you in some way. So
Yeah, it happens all the time still. Like being on a boat and being like out of your mind with like fever dreams, and just going out on the balcony and seeing the constellation that meant a lot to
yeah.
your father. I have this right here. Hold on, my eyes are a little blurry at the moment. You're like, I've seen you cry. I'm like, hey, you're seeing it right
I
now.
Oh, well, but you've seen me cry as well. I was that was a tough week to be there, but hey, you
Yeah.
know, it was fun too. It was different for sure. A different year, for sure. The other thing with stars and constellations, there it is.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So my mom, her name was Susan. She went by the nickname Subi. So that's Subi and her birth day, 428, on the comma there. And I don't think you can see inside here, but inside the front windscreen, I had a light on back there. There's a minifigure representation of my mom along with Shakespeare riding inside the ship there. So it was a fun build. I still have it, like I said. Probably won't ever take it apart. And
Yeah.
you
Please.
know, it'll come to other brick worlds as we expand. Just as a little nod to my mom when we can get there. So
Oh, I'm so sick. I get really emotional when I'm sick. I'm a giant baby when I'm sick. 'Cause I rarely get sick.
yeah, hey, there are lots of people who are that way.
Oh, I'm definitely
When
that way.
you're tired, you can't stop it.
Yeah, of
It is what it is. Well, should we talk about Lego now? Now that we've gone through all that.
course. Real quick before we do so, love to both of our parents. Very, very good parents that we lost too early.
Yes,
Love them both,
yes,
and good,
definitely.
really good to remember. Like you said, it's like the more we remember, the more we realize there was an impact. It's really important. It means as much to us as it does to them. Really love keeping those memories alive. Thank you for sharing. Sorry to do that.
Oh, hey, it's I don't know. We probably don't talk about it enough, but it's definitely one of the things that has bonded us together.
Yeah. Oh,
So it's
yeah.
fair to talk about it, especially near an anniversary,
Yeah. This is
especially around Brickworld. I mean,
yeah.
it is what it is for us.
And this is why we don't talk about it too often because like I fall apart.
Yeah, well, it's all right. It's all right. We all have our own experiences, but I need your help. Hopefully I gave you some help there, letting you get that out. I need some help with my build.
Okay.
Um,
Uh,
and so we'll talk about our vital segment, our mock building segment. That's kind of, one of the main things we like to do on Think Outside the Blocks.
as you start,
And
run to the bathroom real fast.
fair enough. Now I gotta load up my second video camera anyway.
Overhydrating to flush this out of my system. And I'm like, oh my God, we've been at this for a half hour. My bladder's already overextended.
Yeah, so I will bring up this guy here and we'll solo it and you can run to the bathroom
Awesome. Thank you.
while we take a look at this quick. So a lot of people know that what I'm working on right now is what we've affectionately called chonkify or supersize my mech. You can see the original design I have in the back here. And the reason I've kind of felt like I needed to supersize this mech is even though I thought it had a lot of personality and character, it didn't really seem to get or have the same impact that I thought it would. And I think part of that is because what I noticed with a lot of other uh, mechanical type builds, they had a lot more, as I would like to say, presence based on how large their size was. So part of what I've been working on is taking mechs that are maybe a little smaller and trying to make them more substantial. So here we're going from our six-legged insectoid mech, as we've called it, over to this larger eight-legged spider or arachnid mech, as we've like to call it. And so what I've been working on right now is trying to get to a point where the new mech, while it still has the spirit of the old, is its own design. And I have now, as you can see, reached the critical point of getting to build the cockpit. Cockpit on the old one, I did feel to some degree was perhaps a touch on the small side. It worked okay for the mock. It was maybe a little too skinny. But what I'm running into now in particular, and so when Mark gets back, we'll talk about this a little more. But perhaps the biggest issue I'm having at the moment is that if I want to keep sort of the spirit of this upright cockpit, like this here, I feel like it's going to limit me a fair amount in terms of width. And I probably need to make something here that's more than just 6 studs wide, as this one's mainly just 6 studs wide, in order for it to still look proportional.
Okay, so what's the increase in the stud width of the base from the original to the chunkified?
Well, I don't think it's a lot wider. It's definitely quite a bit longer, but it is a. I think this one was more square. This one's more of a rectangle.
Yeah, good.
But I would say it's probably only
Mm,
between 2 and 4 studs wider.
okay.
Um,
Um,
in
I,
total.
I think proportionally you can go wider than the original to make
Yeah,
a funky spider head for
I
sure.
think so.
So if
So
it's only 4 studs wider, I think you can go 8 studs wider because you've given yourself so much, like proportionally the entire mech itself. Doesn't matter the base. The legs are going out wider,
yep.
right? So whatever you want to be there, I think will work. I would like to see that really chunky because a spider's body, the legs are often, you know, just in like visual aspect, right? The legs go out, like, and there's a big bulbous body on the back, so you don't need to stick to the proportions of the original at all.
Right. Well, I definitely think it needs to be wider. The problem is, like, this is the windscreen I would like to use.
Okay.
This is off the Boba Fett
Oh yeah,
Slave One.
it's a great windscreen.
It is a great windscreen, and if I do use this, right,
Yeah.
it's not wide enough. It needs to be a little wider, and that's kind of what I'm struggling with most. Thought
Okay.
about putting it this way as well,
Yeah.
which might work, but I don't like it as much. I kind of like the idea of keeping this vertical style, but I
Yeah.
definitely need to be able to flare it out on the sides,
Yeah.
and I just seem to be struggling to
Oh,
make that happen.
well, I would say stop looking at the original because that's a great size for a cockpit for a minifigure, and you still want this to be a minifigure piloted.
Yep, I
You're
do.
not you're not chunkifying the pilot, right?
Yeah, I think I only want it to be probably only 1 stud wider on each side.
Why?
Not a lot wider. Well, I think
Why?
that will probably look decent. It might be thicker back here. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
do want it to be, not way more flared out. I need to find some graceful way to transition from this windscreen to the rest of the body.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely. So I would say make it. We need to see it. Like we can talk about this um, as much as we want, but until we see it, we won't know exactly what's in your head. But I hear what you're saying, and you could like if I'm looking at the original there in the background,
mhm.
you can make that cockpit, the same size. It only goes out 1 stud on either side, like you're saying. I think it can go out at least 2, considering the dark red pieces that I know are available.
Yep.
Um, with like the beveled wedge, could
Mhm.
sit well on the outside of that. Um, even another stud out from that.
Yeah, and they do have this piece,
Mm,
which I've looked at
okay.
to try to get the flare out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how to transition gracefully from this to other parts, which is kind of what I'm
Oh,
struggling with a little bit.
you
And
okay.
I might be able to do it. I might not.
I would say
But I
honestly.
have been looking at those. I've also been looking at this piece.
Okay, yes.
This piece I like.
Well, go back
Uh,
to that original
I got to
beveled
figure out
wedge.
where to put it.
Go back to that original beveled wedge that you grabbed,
Yeah,
and then
this
grab
guy.
that. Yeah, grab that dark red 1x6 slope that's sitting in front of the in between the legs there. Yeah. So if you put that in and then
Yeah,
put
it doesn't
the
quite work.
beveled wedge next to it, you would have to put it next to it though. Put it next to
You can
it.
do it a different variety of different ways. You can do this too.
Yeah. 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 You can get that out
That's a
too.
good idea.
It is. It definitely is. But I think you can go wider. Like the cockpit can sit on. I think of any ship you've ever built. Think of any mech you've ever built. You can go much wider than the cockpit to make the head of the mech.
Yeah.
And in
Yep.
this case, you have to because you're
Probably.
chargifying it.
Yep.
So I mean, that's your cockpit, but that isn't the entire head of the mech.
Right.
Again, if I'm looking at the one in the background there, you can take that like where the arms are coming out, where the guns are coming out,
Yep.
that doesn't need to be in line with the cockpit. That can
Right.
go out 2 to 4 to 6 to 8, whatever, however far you want it to come out from there. You can make it a big bulbous body and leave the cockpit basically the same width.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of, you know, what I'm thinking is it needs a bit of a transition back here, and I've got to figure out some way to do it. I looked at a couple other pieces for the windscreen as well. This one I like, not quite as much,
I don't mind it.
but this one's not bad. This one's kind of the one I'm leaning towards for a number of reasons. I always liked this windscreen and sort of wanted to use it.
So there was a guy who worked at Legoland, Ryan from Seattle, who's just a very, very talented builder, and he built like an entire like Antarctica installation
Yep.
that like made him. He won Best Creature at Brickworld in 2012, I think. And it's that cock piece is very reminiscent to me of like my my awakening and like building differently and building more sophisticated. And I have a bunch of those in that color actually, which is trans brown. Which,
Yep.
by the way, in revisiting your discussion with Jesse about trans brown versus trans black,
Yeah.
Lego has called it trans brown for at least 11 years now.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I think
So even though the Bricklink color was a recent change, Lego has called it trans brown for some period of time.
yes, yes, and I think the reason they did that is because they actually introduced trans black, and since Lego owns Bricklink now, they had to make a differentiation. I want to put some closure on our previous discussion,
Okay.
and just kind of hit these comments real quick. Lego Team B says, "Kudos, boys! Thanks so much for sharing. There's no doubt your folks can be super proud. I appreciate that. I think they both are, of course." Paige says, "Hugs to both. Loss is hard, but you have beautiful stories. Thank you." And I do appreciate being able to share them and not turning people off by sharing them. And I do appreciate the way, Ben, also that you share your mother's story, is that it's very inspiring and it just paints a beautiful picture of who she was. So thank you for sharing your loss and her life with us. Lego Team B says, talk about Lego, cue more tears. Yeah, exactly. I may cry the entire night.
Oh, that's okay too.
Yeah. Paige,
Especially when you see some of these new sets coming out. Some of them are beautiful.
they're gorgeous, and I can't tell you the amount of times that I've been like, I've seen a Lego set and been like, my dad would have really liked this. Paige says you've got gray trim on the original, so if you add gray to this one, would that help you beef out these dark red portions?
Yeah. I think I will. I mean, this part in particular, sort of this middle section that
Yes.
is very gray, will probably come back in as well. There's also some gray accent on the side here.
Yeah.
Even a touch. So there probably will be some gray. I think the initial transition out from this to the next shape will probably be dark red.
Yeah.
But there might be some gray accent for sure.
I agree with that, and I would say like the original like proportion of dark gray to dark red in the first cockpit, I think is a very good balance. So I'm excited to see what you do. It's kind of I kind of think you just need to like pull the trigger and build something so we can see it and about that. Brick Orphanage suggests perhaps like where that what we talked about a few weeks ago, where they were calling it a crab face. Like if the cockpit was in the actual body itself and the bulb, like the spider butt, was some other sort of like weapon array or something. It doesn't necessarily need to be in the rotating head. I think for a mech, I disagree with Brick Orphanage in this, that I would like to see the cockpit on the turntable so that they're able to see all the terrain around them. Brick Orphanage also says skipping the whole rotating top mounted cockpit idea, which I just said I disagree with, but it's an option. Brick Orphanage also says the second curve wedge works really nicely with the windscreen,
Yeah,
which
these two together.
You have three big options with the curved wedges that
Yeah.
have available to it, or the curved slopes as well. I don't think you necessarily. Hey, Monica Berry is here. I don't think you necessarily hit what I was saying in the first place with adding the curved wedge with the curved slope, just giving it an extra stud of width to come out. But maybe I'll
Okay.
just do a picture by text.
So you mean something like just took it off.
Maybe.
Something like
Yeah, and so there have to be a plate behind
something
that.
like this.
Yes, yeah, that's what. Thank you. Yes, that's exactly what I was suggesting.
Yeah.
It can even be behind that first. The curved slope itself can be behind the windscreen, and that would
Yeah.
get two studs out.
That's
But
true.
three studs out is even better because you're talking about chunkifying, so make it as wide as possible. I think you're limiting yourself in not being. Yes. Either way, the original way you showed it to me is very viable as well.
Yeah. This is the one I think that speaks to me the most right now.
I agree. I
There's
really
some more work to do, but I think I like this.
sure. I agree. I agree 100%.
If I
There's
can find some good way to transition the curve from
yeah,
that down to this.
yeah. And there's not that much more work to do, I don't think, because if you think of it, where that stud is, where that cockpit is actually sitting, it's just a snot wall away.
Yeah, let's try something
Yeah, yeah.
like this. Look at that.
I'm on board. I love that. I
That might work
really,
pretty well,
yeah,
actually.
it's a very good aesthetic.
So,
Yeah, you're killing it. Yeah, good
so
job.
that might be it. We'll see, but that's all I really did. I did a little more greeble work up top to sort of fill in
Oh,
some of the red to make it more gray and uniform. Added some more fun greebles on the very back end.
I hope you're finding this as a compliment, but it reminds me of a Star Wars video game. Just in how complete it is. I think like the entire composition is very video game artwork, which is something I search a lot because I love concept art for video games to inspire me.
I do too. So that to me that definitely is a compliment. I definitely need some more hoses for the legs to make them look a little more what's the word, I guess, pneumatic-y. That's not really a word, but
But I understand what you mean.
yeah,
It's an adjective now.
it's an adjective now. We've created it at least.
One thing I'll say is I like the composition of the front of the original insectoid one uh, better than sort of like yes the chonkifying has made the front of this one of the chonkified one the chonkifying has made it look chunky.
Very flat, I think.
Well,
Kind of
not
how I describe it a little bit.
not necessarily flat, but Lego-y.
Lego-y.
Yeah,
Okay.
in that you just filled in the space with what would fit geometrically without thinking as much as you did in the smaller version about the actual aesthetics. So I think like maybe we can get some more dark gray.
Yeah, I think so too. I think this part can come out
Yeah.
particular. I sort of have these
You got it.
the wedges in here, and I do have some dark gray pieces that I was experimenting with. Also trying to avoid putting a face on it.
Oh yeah.
Even this part in particular,
Yeah.
I think looks a lot better. There's
Oh
some pretty
yeah.
easy ways to transition that.
So Superhawk is pretending that they're new here. Um, they're not. uh, but they're giving me the compliment that this is super cool. Love how the mech is coming along. I do too. Like the chunkifying is bringing you into a new direction. I think as a builder, the legs especially, the way you've made them stabilize is just like a much more sophisticated sort of technical build than I think we've seen from you in the past. Supa also says needs a face with the dark gray. Yeah, that's what we're trying to avoid. Actually, we're trying to avoid the pareidolia because 2 weeks ago, someone said it looked like a crab face, or they asked, was it intended to be a crab face? V is for vocabulary, as in pneumat, pneumat.
Pneumatic-y. The word we created, pneumatic-y. Yes.
As vocabulary.
We're
Yeah, I agree.
vocabulary victors today with our new V word.
We're vocabulary. Vocabularistic.
Vocabularistic.
Yes.
We're vocabularizing.
That's the best
Uh,
for us.
Now we're just going off the rails. That's what we're really doing here.
We've done worse.
This is a pretty minor change, but even that, I think, starts me in the right direction for doing some more here.
Agreed. And what I would say is I like the right and the left side outside of that little dome that you just put in there. And I think that it needs like a dark gray or a light gray, whatever. No, dark gray stripe down the center to really kind of match the sort of greebling you were doing with the smaller version. I think.
Yeah, I think these in particular,
Yeah,
these wedged shields need to come out, and I need to do something more up here.
unfortunately, because I do love that piece, I agree with you, and I think what's missing here is like just a. You're very thoughtful with your greebling, and this seems a little bit more focused on chunkifying than it is on the actual design that you usually do so well in giving us a thoughtful, sort of fully rounded design. And I think that is a bit, just a tiny bit off to me from your normal sort of way of designing something.
Yeah, I don't particularly like this. There are some things that I think I can do to this. So hasn't been an area I've put all my focus on, but I do think there's some ways I can improve this that we'll see next week.
Yeah.
Or will we, since next week is the Super Bowl?
Next.
But perhaps we'll film something that we talk about with this. We'll see.
100%. Actually, if you want to do like a pre-bowl show, we can just do it on Saturday instead.
That's true.
I think that's a valid.
The Super Bowl of Lego.
Yeah, let's do that. What would it be?
I don't know.
So as we're transitioning, Ben, have you been joining in on the Eurobreaks calls? Because I have not.
Yes, I have.
Am I making them nervous?
No, I don't think so. I think that I think Tim has just come to realize that, we'll get it done, or at least close enough to build what we haven't finished on site.
I've never proven that.
Oh, you were pretty close with Oasis. Come on.
Oasis was a what do you call it? Photo finish. And I think like as much as I'm like, I need you guys need to make sure that I'm done early. I always try to say, give me the smallest job and I'll do it. And then I always end up with something big. Like last year I was like, give me the smallest job. I think I do carving. It'll just be a repeat thing. So then I got the sides of the ship, the entire sides of the ship. And then this year I got the entire fucking roof because I was like, hey, I'll do a Pepper's Ghost again and we'll hide it in the attic. And they're like, well, then do the entire roof. And I was like, but I said small job. So I've given myself the entire.
Well, we can't say too much more about what we're doing, but it has an attic. That's all anyone gets.
And an entire roof that I'm responsible for.
Yeah. Well,
the roof.
The roof
is on fire. We don't need any water. Let the motherfucker burn.
Wow, you are on fire today, I might add.
Oh my god. I think so. I haven't had much energy for a while, but I think what I am right now, we can very much call slap happy.
Yeah.
Not used to forcing myself into a spot where I have some sort of vibrant energy. And it's taxing for sure. Would you like me to switch over to my build?
Why, are you getting sick of watching me try to put this together while you're sitting there talking?
No, not at all. I just don't want things to get.
Yeah, no. Let's do that. Let's absolutely switch over to yours while I do a little work on this. Might as well do a 2-for-1 here.
Okay, perfect. You have another one?
No. I'm talking about yours. I can build and react to yours. I think I can do it.
All right, let's see.
So we'll remove that, and we'll put us both up until your other camera's ready to go.
Oh, it's ready.
Awesome. And we got plenty of new pictures to talk about in Lego News. So here we go. We're back at the Panda House.
Come on.
Come on, what?
Trying to make it full screen,
Oh,
and
I got it.
this video is, I can't see it for some reason.
It's full screen. I can see it.
All right,
It's up
then
there.
I'll just rely on you. I don't know what I clicked to make me see just an icon. Um,
Well, it's up there.
I did quite a bit on this, and
The
unfortunately,
Panda Pagoda House. Okay. So I assume you're going to ask a question about the new trim work, one side to the other.
good call. Yep,
Um,
I got a couple different options there.
yeah. Hmm. Okay.
I widened this area because I didn't like we came up with a very good solution of like having a panda face in there, and then over time I ended up hating it, and so I put a window there instead, and so I changed the depth of that part of the pagoda house, which changed the depth of the center to get those two the sliding doors in, which by the
Hmm.
way,
Function. I am so excited. There we go. I like it.
not smooth yet, but we'll get there. And it's a little bit too much like whoa, whoa. So I'll fix that to make sure that they actually close and open the way they should.
Okay.
Um, but of course, like the last house I did, that stone house with all the round tiles, I can't find the round tiles now, and that's what's holding that in place. And I can't find all the pieces to make it all come out and really hold those doors in place. But I also need to stop it from going too far this way and falling out. But I do love this idea. Now I changed the bottom here
Yep.
because this should be on the waterfall. And instead of making this part on the waterfall as well, I took all that out so that there would be a um like a porch or like a balcony that sits over the rest of the pond, and so like somewhere around here needs to be a door to go out to the that like that porch area.
Okay.
So I'll change that eventually. But as you called out, I put up two different types of texture underneath the windows,
Yep.
and so feedback.
Yeah. Paige says I like the windows and the trim on the right side where the panda was. That's that side. Me, I actually like the trim on the left, so I guess we're at odds, Paige and I. Um, I don't know why I think the sameness doesn't quite do it for me. Maybe it's also because there's so much more dark blue on the right side underneath the window now as well.
Perhaps.
That it's sort of thrown me off.
Okay.
Um, and obviously right now you've got the green and the
I mean, there will be like a porch here eventually.
yeah.
So
So okay, I mean I think that will help to some degree.
yeah, it'll be like something like this with a full porch like wrap around this side, like an
Yeah.
old pagoda house would.
And we've got some votes. So Joe Ellen says I like the left too.
Yeah.
So does Crystal, all the way from Australia. We've got two Australians today saying that the left is better. We've also got Brick Orphanage saying, is the trim black or dark blue? It is dark blue in
It is
this
dark blue.
particular.
There's no black in this except for the panda.
Yeah. Sometimes you can't tell the two apart. I promise you that is the truth. That happens to me when I'm sorting, not infrequently, where some dark blue ends up in the black bin.
No kidding. You can see it right
So
away, Like once you look back at it.
Yeah. So, you started with the design on the left, but
Did.
what gave you the idea to try the part on the right?
It was one of my sketch models, which is right here. Hold on. It was this.
Okay.
And when I translated that, whoops, to this, I have to admit I kind of fell in love with the right side. Like I love the way it looks like a texture that you might actually see in a pagoda house. Um, the striations of that make it look like straw or bamboo or like a thin wood that's creating the veneer on the house. And so I do like it very much. However, I'm not opposed to the left, and it seems to be getting more votes, which is disappointing to me. However, that's why I asked the question.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Which
the more I look at it, the more I think it might be the dark blue more so than the white. Um, just the sheer volume of it, because we have the nice breakup up above with the lavender. It
yeah,
makes the house seem like maybe that's more of the main color, but now it's sort
yes,
of overwhelmed with the dark blue down below. So perhaps adding some lavender in there somehow might help make it feel a little less bluesy. Yeah. I mean, I think that helps quite a bit, quite honestly. Even though you're just throwing the green on there to just sort of cover it, I think
I
it
wonder.
helps quite a bit.
I wonder if it changes anyone else's mind.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess we can see what a few people say. I don't know that it's. I still like the left side, but this makes me not feel at all like I really dislike the right. I say from here, I still like the left slightly better because I like the different texture instead of the sameness of the right. But
Yeah.
it's much closer now. I'll say that for sure.
Well, and I think that's what I was going for with what Paige just said, in that it looks more woven, and
Yeah.
that's what pagoda houses look like. So if I turn this a bit, here, come along for the ride, there, friend. If I turn it here, you can kind of see what I like about
Okay. Yep.
that depth of like how these change, because it gives it sort of a like almost a bamboo where it goes thick, thin, thick, thin, thick, thin.
Hmm.
Um, However, if you look at this, I do like very much the depth and smoothness of this side.
Yeah.
So like I feel a bit lost. I don't know what to
You know what?
do when
You
you're
know
looking
what's
at it.
strange about that? Quite honestly, when
Yeah,
you had it turned, so instead of looking at um the vents or whatever they call that piece straight on, when I'm looking at it from an angle,
yes, I
I
know.
like it a lot better.
How do we achieve that without
Yeah.
we look at it straight on? Because that's what I like about it, is that thick thin thing. Because
Yeah.
it look very sort of like it makes it look like a pagoda house.
Yeah. Brick Orphanage said, could you try another color under the grill for contrast? Yeah, I wonder if.
I'd only want to do gray, I think.
Well, I don't think it has to be white. Obviously, that would, not be any contrast. I don't know that I'd want it dark either, but I think a lighter color behind might give it a different feeling.
Like, what if it was lavender?
Who knows? Lavender, I don't know. Gray or tan or dark tan.
Mm,
I don't know how any of those would work, but it might give it a little different feeling as well and sort of pop out sort of that thick, thin look straight on as well a little better.
so I'm
Yeah,
having
I mean, when it's straight on with the white with the white behind it, it just doesn't kind of give you the same feeling. Brick Orphanage says, yeah, I think lavender under the grill tiles might work. So who knows? A couple different ideas. Well, looks like we've got a a spot where we could do some experimenting right now.
Definitely.
How about that?
All right, I'll try. Take me a while to find that white piece because it took me forever to pick them up. But
Yeah, I saw a couple of them look like they were yellowing a bit, so it must not be
I know.
the top piece in your bin.
No, it's not.
Yeah, so when I was doing the while you're looking for some pieces here, when
Yeah.
I was doing the grand opening for Bricks and Minifigs Roseville, I decided to create a QR code to encourage a few new followers, maybe even get some over here to think outside the blocks, right? And
Nice.
when I was working on um, getting enough tiles to finish the QR code, I have way, way, way more black tile than I do white tile, and a fair amount of the white tile I have is yellowing. So
Yeah.
not the top tile piece I have, unfortunately, not the top tile color. But I did find enough to make it work, so hooray for me, I guess. I don't know.
You know how to fix that.
There are a number of different ways people have suggested to fix that. What do you think the best way to fix yellowing tile is?
So I drop them into a pick-a-brick cup with peroxide and OxyClean, and it creates a lot of pressure. So don't put a cap on that. I found that one. Don't put a cap on it because it will blow right off. And then you leave it in a window in the sun, like for a day, and then you rinse it, and it really does clean up that yellowing.
Nice.
You can do it for the polycarbonate pieces too, like the trans clear pieces. It's worked really well for me, and I've fixed a lot of Fabuland figures that had like immediate yellowing when I took them out of the package. Like some of these things that have been sitting in like in a package for years, the minute they hit oxygen, they will turn yellow like the second you give them oxygen. So that's what I found works best, and I think there's a chemistry and science behind it. So I don't know what else people would suggest.
Yeah, I've heard ultrasonic cleaners. Unless you're like a dentist or medical professional, I don't know who has an ultrasonic cleaner around. I've also heard this expression used, and I don't know quite what it means, but people have suggested indirect sunlight can help. I'm like, indirect sunlight? I'm not even sure what that means.
Same.
But that's the other method that I've heard. But yeah, the apparently OxyClean peroxide trick is the one Mark recommends.
With
So
hot water.
a little bit of hot water. Is it like don't want to touch it hot water, or like wash your hands type hot water?
Wash your hands.
Okay. So a strong warm water we'll go with. Sounds like a practical way to fix a little bit of the discoloration on your whitish yellow bricks, as we'll call them, I guess. Yeah, and I have quite a bit of white from a number of old themes that I really liked, including Ice Planet. Was it 2001? I don't remember what the Ice Planet 2031. I don't remember what it was, but a number of Ice Planet sets that had a lot of yellow that have turned, and of course, classic pirates, the Imperial soldiers and the Imperial guards. Pretty much all of their bases were built white, and those bricks, especially some of the large panels, are all just super yellow now. Joellen suggests, of course, on the other hand, if you just want to get rid of it, I have a build in mind that needs discolored white pieces. So Joellen will take it. I don't know if that's another Halloween themed build or spooky build of some variety, but it looks like she would take some discolored white. Paige also mentions that watch repair and jewelry places have ultrasonic cleaners as well. So you might be able to get some ultrasonic cleaning of your white brick there. Who knows?
Okay.
Maybe it's a service Bricks and Minifigs could offer to provide people. That could be an interesting additional source of revenue if there's some reliable way to do it.
I don't
So
know if that's enough to show. I think I made enough noise.
you did. Well, I'll say I like it better than just the white on white.
Okay.
I still think that at the angle it gives you the better feeling.
Yeah, same.
Um,
Which
it's
it,
almost like you have to stress out and defocus your eyes a bit to
I know.
really kind of get the best vibe from that.
I think like so if we look at that here, mostly, I think it does give like a really good texture.
Uh-oh.
What?
I got a Mike Wazowski vibe. One eye with a big grin with the white on white under there in the window.
Oh no.
That's what I said. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think it's nearly as bad as some of the things we've done,
No, it's
but
not.
it
Yes.
just kind of gave me that little spark where I was like, Mike Wazowski.
So if we see this outside of the texture of like that bottom portion, uh, the idea of the two windows, and here I was going to put a big window because over here I'll probably put some sort of door to get out to the balcony.
Yep.
I was going to put like a garden back here, and
Okay.
I was going to let's see if I can find them, like make a big round window back here. Hi. Like that sort of big curve.
Okay.
Any thoughts on that?
I like the idea of a round Exeter entry. It's both pseudo Japanese as well as giving me some Hobbit vibes, and I like both.
Uh huh.
So I think that's an interesting way to do it. What sort of door or mechanism would you put covering that? Some sliding doors or something else?
It would just be a window.
Okay.
So it would be something like this repeated because the door is right here.
Yeah.
And I guess like for feng shui, that type of house, there might be another door here, and so maybe I could make it a sliding door. But basically, since there would be a sliding door here, I'm just wondering about like
The big giant window idea.
and the
Would work.
windows here,
Yeah.
like for the outside of the house, does that still look compelling?
Yeah. I like it. I think it would be good.
Okay, because what I want to do, and I have the pieces for this, I just cannot for the life of me find them, and I definitely spent time doing that today. Is that the roof will start here, and I have that new like curved outside angle
Yep.
piece for that.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, and this will rise up to another story. This right here will be a
Okay.
second story, and then there'll be a roof on both of these parts. So I'm going to do the inside. Like looking at this, I still cannot decide between the right and the left.
Yeah.
I do like the left enough to leave it if that's like the bigger vote. But I really like this. I really like this sort of bamboo look.
Uh-huh. Well, I think I like the depth of the left side with the ingots in it. The other thing you might try is you put that lavender piece behind the 1x2 on the back.
Yeah,
What if you avoided a plate on there at all and just put the white lattice parts or the white grills right directly on that gray brick? Then it would be sunken in a little bit, as well as have a different color behind it.
yeah.
It might give you the best of both worlds.
Oh, I'll try it.
Or I suppose they do make that 5 tall double stud piece, the one that you have in gray everywhere. That's been in every brickhead. They do have those in a few other colors.
Yeah, I'm using
Um,
brackets here actually.
okay, brackets. So you might be able to. Yeah, obviously you're using brackets because they're it's actually perfectly even on the
Yeah.
right hand side. But yeah, bracket in a different color or whatever instead of gray. If you find that it works, and sink it in half a stud like the um, or one plate, I guess,
Yeah.
just like the lavender parts above it. So I guess a couple different ideas. See which one you like best and play around with it.
So I think we like the white on blue windows though. I think that's
Oh yes, oh yes.
yeah, I
I
agree.
think that looks nice. I like it with the lavender. I like the blue and the lavender together. Um, I mean, like I said, I think the bigger problem with the right is probably all of the blue on the bottom right now.
Yeah.
But that'll probably get corrected. But I think if you sunk those, yeah, I think if you sunk those grills in, you might kind of get best of both worlds.
Okay. I'll try it.
So
I can change those to white, or maybe there are other colors available in bracket to make a different color behind that.
yep, you can try either.
Let me show you one more thing. Um, just want to see this dead on. With the lavender behind it. Like, does that make a difference?
I like it better than the white.
Okay.
It does, I think, give it a little bit more of a feeling of depth. And of course, part of it too is I might also just like it because there's not a ton of blue underneath it,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
it's hard to know for sure. It's definitely better than the front. I don't know if it's exactly where you want to be yet. Yeah,
Do
I
you
mean
now?
that definitely hurts it right away. So
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
yeah.
All right. I'll
Anybody else in the tainted? They've probably just been listening to us chat here, haven't gone too crazy. The other thing that strikes me when looking at this, because you have so many of them sitting around, is the window lattice piece there.
yeah.
Have you ever tried to put windows in that gap on their side, maybe
Ooh.
with that piece in there?
No, I have not tried that.
That might be an interesting take on it as well,
Um
just for funsies.
we can try something like that real quick. Hold on. Let me
Yeah,
find
you got plenty of dark blue windows.
don't I? Where'd they go?
You do. I've seen them.
Okay, got them. Try it with 3 and see where it goes. Hey, look, I found the piece I was looking for all day today. This piece to flesh out the door because you couldn't see it, but like the sliding door at the front
Yeah.
has a huge gap.
Oh,
This will fill it in perfectly.
there you go.
You don't want to do it one by ones. But let's see if we did this.
Try
I,
the grill over black too. Might look like they're floating in front of a void space. Well,
oh, black. I can try it.
yeah.
I can also try dark blue. So if that was,
There you go. They're sort of jammed in there now. They're not going to have the right depth.
it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think it's kind of got the same problem as before, though. It's too much blue.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, but it was an interesting idea to try
Yeah.
for sure.
Luckily, we can do it quickly.
Yeah, it was easy enough because I knew it'd fit in that gap. But yeah, I think it's the same issue. If it was white on white or lavender windows, who knows? But that's
I do.
probably don't have a bunch of that sitting around. So
I still really love the thick, thin, thick, thin, thick, thin.
yeah,
Yeah. What do we do? That's an interesting conundrum.
as soon as I blur my eyes just a touch,
Yeah.
it instantly gives me a different feeling.
Yeah, if you
So
look at it here, it really gives the difference between the two textures.
yeah.
Uh, like I don't know. I'm torn between the two.
Maybe I should give you the same advice you gave me, which is just build it,
Yeah, yeah, maybe.
and then we'll see.
Yeah, because I feel like as much as I really like this texture, if I did replace the background of this with the medium lavender or the lavender, it might show us a little bit better what that might look like. And if I just leave this here, because what like I really want this to be like kind of a eventually like a porch.
Yeah.
It's out and sits above the waterfall. Um, to hide it now would be to do that.
Yeah. I mean, it
I
certainly
don't know.
helps. All right. Well, guess you've got a few things to try.
I certainly do. Plus, we need to
Um,
like build it up higher in the background with a roof and a second story on the center level. So lots of work to do on this. I don't mind it. It's like it gives me something to do. Yeah.
yes, indeed, you do.
All right. So how are we doing? We're at
Well,
we're
we're
at
just for an
15.
hour 15, which isn't too bad for both of us being here. We've gone through two topics.
True.
We can either we can flip flop 3 and 4, or do 3 and 4 in the order in which we have them here. Talk
Hmm.
Valentine's Day or very very early pictures. Which one do you want to do first?
Let's talk about Valentine's Day because I
Let's
want to
do
see
it.
where we're going with this.
Well, this is why I'm not available on Valentine's Day of any variety.
Okay.
I have a 7-year-old daughter who had a birthday party today. She is a Valentine's Day baby.
Oh,
So,
oh no.
Valentine's Day for me, I think fortunately, has become all about my forever Valentine, Little Miss Marasu.
Okay.
I no longer have to do any of the romance stuff, which I'm not the best at.
Yeah.
My wife will tell you, she'll agree with me. I don't know about you. Are you the romantic one in the relationship, or are you more of the
No, there's no romance in
okay?
our relationship. Neither one of us is.
Not
Just
big into that. Which isn't the worst thing. If neither of you expect it, then neither of you are disappointed, right?
no, we hate Valentine's Day. And just
Mm.
real quick before you move on, I don't know if you put this up, but Brick Orphanage suggested for that my build extend the gray stone base to the sides instead of the green or dark blue ones. So I do have a plan with that. So the side with the green is going to be green over dark gray, and that's why I have the side studs. So it'll be like grass over rock, and then the dark blue side is going to be where like uh,
The porch and waterfall are.
the porch, yes, goes over the river. So that's the plan. It used to be all. It was going to be all rock, and then I realized like most pagoda houses at least have one side that's stilted. Um, so all right, back to
Yeah.
Valentine's Day. Apologies.
So I never have to buy anything for Valentine's Day anymore, which is awesome. I'm just
I
gonna say
missed
that. The only thing that I really get excited about for Valentine's Day now is they usually have some sort of fun seasonal Lego set.
that. No,
Unfortunately, this year it was the hedgehogs,
makes no sense.
which is, though we can't build it on Valentine's Day, we might have to do a video on it beforehand. I'll be busy taking my daughter's orders on
Okay.
Valentine's Day since she's in charge. But for anyone who hath forgotten,
Oh my God.
the hedgehog picnic date is the one of the seminal Valentine's Day esque sets this year. Um, I don't get it. It's terrifying, and yet, and yet, because of both of those things, focus. Because of both of those things, I love the set and I need to build it.
Yeah, and what is the growth on the side of her head?
I,
What
I think
what's happening?
this is a rose,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I don't know. I think it's just her chubby cheeks, but I'm not sure. You know what else is interesting? On
What?
the front,
Yeah.
both of the hedgehogs don't appear to be wearing anything. They're gender neutral, perhaps. On the back, this one, she's now got some. I'm assuming she, maybe that's unfair. She's kind of got like a little bow in her hair.
Yeah, maybe.
So
Yeah.
I don't know why it's different on the two sides.
Yeah, no shit.
So that's a little unusual. But hedgehogs can love however hedgehogs want to. I don't know, but
Yeah,
I
exactly.
did just notice that. The other thing I noticed too is that when you're looking at the mushroom from above, it makes a heart shape.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yes, the Brick Orphanage says this, which we noticed. I can't stop looking at the exhaust grill on the mushroom stem. We talked about that at length too. Like, what the heck is that? Did not make any sense to us.
Paige said that
Um,
she built it and it's adorably weird. Well,
it's certainly weird.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I haven't found the adorable part yet. I'm a little confused still.
in other years, when they've done Valentine's Day sets, they've stuck to like lovebirds, teddy bears, things like that.
The grass is also a heart.
Grass is also a heart. Yeah, okay, sure. If I took the pesky mushroom off, it might can do a complete heart shape. Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Definitely noticed the mushroom more from the top down view. But yeah, I mean, bring back the teddy bear. And they did do a gift with purchase um, this last week, and I did get the Dune Ornithopter, so I got one.
Oh, nice. What?
Um, which was an adorable Valentine's Day set. I don't have it with me, but I bet if I go to Lego.com, I can find it. But it was more of your classic love gift box. That's what
I
it's
use
called.
I use Firefox, and Firefox hasn't been compatible with shop.lego.com for like a month.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, I'm on Firefox and it's working just fine.
Doesn't work for me. I don't know why.
Interestingly. But let's pull this up here. So if I do
Okay, please
present,
do.
share screen, whole screen, this screen, share, and there it is. So an adorable little something. I think it's a bear.
Is it a hedgehog?
It's certainly not a hedgehog. Or maybe it's a corgi. When I see it out of the box, it looks a little more like a corgi now.
All right.
But I don't know. Which one would you say it is?
Pfft.
The only thing I know for sure is it ain't no hedgehog. That's it.
Don't humans fall in love, or are we just working with animal love for Valentine's
I
Day?
don't know. Gift with purchase is cute, says Crystal. So yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty
Cute.
cute. I'm just not 100% sure what the animal is. Paige suggests that it might be a guinea mig. I assume that's guinea pig.
Any
Um,
any animal that pops out of a box with a flag that says "I love you" is going to be cute.
yeah,
Sure.
correction, pig for sure. Yes,
It
okay.
could be a possum, and we'd be like, "Oh,
I don't know if it was a hedgehog popping out of there. We might not be saying that. I gotta remind you how terrifying these things
no."
are.
Hedgehogs make me angry at this point because of that.
They're very hedgehog centric with all the Sonic sets and
Oh yeah.
everything else.
Oh,
Brick,
very much so.
Brick Orphanage says I'd go along with guinea pig. Okay, well,
Okay.
I don't know. I think when it's out of the box and sitting here like this, kind of gives me a little bit of a dog vibe. I don't know. There's no
I don't know
tail,
what that is.
so I'm not sure. I
Yeah,
think
I
a
answer.
long tail might kind of give it away. We'd be like, oh, it's definitely a dog if it's got a bushy tail curling up in the back or something.
Freaking hamster. I don't know what.
Yeah, no one's quite sure, but it is cute. Nothing on the box necessarily gives it away as to what it is.
No.
But I don't know. My first thought was bear, like I said, and then when I saw later on when I was turning it. This shot in particular, I'm like, yeah, I'm not so sure I'd go with bear, but I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So anyway, cute, not the hedgehogs. But I guess neither one of us are doing anything terribly romantic for Valentine's Day. Like I said, I will be at the beck and call of my little Valentine. Anyone in the tainted, if they want to share some crazy Valentine's Day plans, go ahead. If you do have a significant other that thinks of romance, do they buy you Lego for Valentine's Day? I need to know. I certainly don't get any Lego for Valentine's Day.
I,
But
we don't do that.
Well, Z's spouse today, so way back in the day, she told me that I did not need to buy her flowers. She felt that they were a waste. Now that she's gotten older, she's softened on that, and now she buys herself flowers, which is fine with me. But I did go ahead and get her some Lego botanical flowers.
Okay.
I said, hey, these will last forever. And so because of that, she has those up in her room for a very long time now, up in her office. And every time she says, Ben's never bought me flowers when she's talking to other people about our arrangement, I say, that is not true. You have some very permanent Lego flowers in your office.
They'll never die.
Yeah. Brick Orphanage says, my wife said White Castle is taking reservations for Valentine's Day. Rats with hats.
Get it?
Do you still have a White Castle near you, Brick Orphanage? They've closed like next to all of them in the Twin Cities.
I have one right down the street from me, actually.
Yeah. Suzanne suggests that maybe it's a fox in that Valentine's set. Adorable either way, still not a hedgehog. That's all we know for sure is it's not a hedgehog. Did you see the pictures of that red fox, by the way, that Jesse and I
yeah. I like
cool. That's a cool set.
The squirrel model is my favorite.
Yeah.
Out of those.
Let's see. I just got the little Lego roses as well. So we've got that. The little roses. Do you mean the non-decay dozen rose ones, so a smaller set, or is there?
I'm pretty sure.
The dozen ones.
Yeah, I think it's the small yellow box.
Okay. Well, they've done several different styles and colors of roses now. I think the dozen roses.
Yeah.
Roses. I think the dozen roses is the most complete. I have it. I haven't built it yet. Red's not my favorite color. I like a more mixed bouquet if I'm using the pieces. And Paige confirms not the dozen, but still cute to get the little yellow box version of the roses.
I do like the cherry blossom ones. I would put those in a vase.
Yeah, and very inexpensive, only $15 for that set.
Yeah, good.
Good variety of extra little pieces on that. So.
All right, before we switch over to very early images, there's some sponsors to talk about. First of all, and you talked about this last week, and thank you very much for that.
I did.
Yeah, which was fantastic. This is Brickshell Cases, and if you guys are wondering what on earth I'm talking about, you can see right here, this is a wall-mounted case. And this is all of the Disney collectible minifigures in there. There's a magnetic front on it in case you want to change them out. Very easy to put together. I have one of my own that the people at Brickshell Cases actually made for me. Let me see if I can bring myself up for a solo here. And I don't know how to do this.
I can do it. I got you.
Yeah, there we go. So actually, before the live stream started tonight, I was trying to get ready with my build, and I knocked this off of the table, and every part unscratched, unbroken, and it fell a good 3 feet, like a hard 3 feet. Like the noise scared my dog, but this is what they made for me was the Fabuland case. And as you saw in previous weeks, some of the minifigs had fallen over, and that was more of a Fabuland figure feature. And so I have the ones in here with the tight joints, and you can get this. Although they made it for me, Fabuland Fan Milwaukee, you can buy your own Fabuland minifigure case, if you go to brickshellcases.com, we've got some exciting news that we're not ready to share just yet because I can't get myself going because I've been so sick and I've been so busy. But you can, let's see, you can go to brickshellcases.com and look at some of the products that they have. I highlight this one because I think it's so exciting. That's what I want eventually, is something that's going to sit on my wall. I have the desktop ones. But if you look at their products, minifigure podiums, and scroll down here, their bestseller is this, the 12, so that you can get like an entire CMF in there or whatever you want. And this laser cut acrylic case is very easy to put together. It's $43. And then if you want something that has like a specific background, like we have the Disney 100 one here, it's $70. But like if this means something to you, it's 100% worth it because this stuff lasts, very easy to put together, very resilient. Like I said, I dropped it off the table today. They've got all sorts of themes ready to go. Looney Tunes. We've got the Simpsons here. We've got a good example here of 2 figures with heart in the background, so you can get this for Valentine's Day. And like collectible minifigure series 25.
Do they have some display stands there, Mark, with no acrylic?
They
platform for one Lego minifigure.
Just the platform, yes.
Nice.
They have all sorts of. They are constantly talking to Lego fans to see what else we want. So I would say this is a safe place to invest your money. Very cool stuff that they have going on here. Let's check out the lifestyle shots. You can have a clock and a fern and a wall minifigure.
Oh, I've got a lifestyle shot coming up in our early pictures that we need to talk about.
Oh, I can't wait. These minifigures, they do like, these are all the Speed Champion sets here. And if you look again, you can say, like, if you like the Star Wars helmets, they have several different ways to display several different sizes of the helmets. And let me see if they have them out yet. They've been talking to me about this. They have, look at this. We have the Naboo one fighter from the Mandalorian. They have something for your Millennium Falcon. If you're tired of using that as a coffee table, look at the angle you can store this at. They've thought of everything. They're very in tune with how collectors want to display things. If you want to look at something like Universal Ship Edition, which is what we looked at with the Mandalorian fighter, but it fits many fighters. And then this, like with the Republic gunship, there's all sorts of things. Please take your time to check this out because I think as collectors, you're gonna find something here that you want. I don't do this. We don't have an actual agreement with them yet. No money has changed hands. I believe in this company. They've sent me some really great products. And talking about believing in someone, D's Bricks is run by one of the Brick World employees. So I'm a little bit like biased here. He does our sponsorships. He does all of our interactive displays, and he helps me find influencers and people to man all those booths. However, everything you saw built tonight in the Pagoda House was ordered through D's Bricks. So if you go to this website, he has a prolific collection of all sorts of things. Like if you're looking for this sort of thing where he's got like, the foil packs, but like he knows that stuff. That's something he gets very easily. If you are looking for anything, if you're looking for individual bricks, he has them. You can, he's got foil packs, polybags, minifigs, sets, and more. He has a prolific number of bricks. You can go ahead and get through to his store here on Bricklink. I have found every shape and color I've ever been looking for something I'm working on, and he has just a ton of relationships. A very good organization of what you're looking for. Check out his website, check out his Bricklink store, check out his TikTok. He's very, very active. And two of our best friends here in Sean and Brent are a couple of brickheads, and they're going to be the co-hosts of Brickworld this year. They're bringing us a lot of exciting things. They've been working with Brian Saviano of Bricker Builds fame. They're going to bring us several new things we've never seen happen at Brickworld before, and that's why they're our first influencer co-hosts. You're going to check out ACOB if you can. They have a great live stream, especially if you're into Star Wars. But if you're just into like the general collecting of Lego and what new sets are coming out, you want to check them out. They're a lot of fun. A couple of very warm, inviting individuals. Do your best to check them out. If not, you will run into them at Brickworld this year. They have a lot of fun plans for how to make everything more inviting and more fun for everybody who attends. Bricks of Hope is a non-for-profit that comes to Brickworld Chicago every year. And what they do is they take donations of Lego sets and Lego, any sort of Lego donation, just loose bricks, minifigures, accessories, something you got from a third party, and they give them to kids in need who just need a little pick-me-up, who just need a little bit of hope in their life, and who love Lego. Check these guys out. You can always donate sets to them. You can donate money to them directly. If you go to the site and you really want to be part of it, you can always hit the donate button. But there's also a lot of options to become a Play Pal. Check these guys out. Amazing, amazing group who really loves the community, really loves kids who are in need and who are looking for partnerships in bringing the resources to these kids that that their entire life will be impacted, changed, heightened just by you reaching out, giving them $5, giving them $1. Just reach out to Bricks of Hope and see what they're about. And if there's a spot in your life where you just want to give back to the community, this is a great place to do so. Best Craft Organizer. This is not a nonprofit. This is somebody who is really looking to make some money off of us. And this is a good place to spend your money. Again, they're a vendor at Chicago, but they're not a sponsor. They're not giving us money for me to tell you this. You saw this in the goodie bag a couple of years ago. Just their basic organizing trays. They have so much, and it's not just about Lego. It's about any craft that you're into. They have full furniture pieces. Look at this stuff, and they've got like it's a full like sort of installation piece that you can put anywhere in your house, but they've got color options. They've got, look, if you see here, this is just like paper organizers. I think if you saw in the pictures I just showed you, they're looking at beads and yarn and other sorts of stuff, but they know the Lego community and they want to be part of the Lego community. And they've got some amazing, amazing stuff that will help you get you to where you want to be with organizing your Lego collection. There's so much here, and they've grown so much in the 2 years since we've started working with them as a vendor at Lego. I'm sorry, at Brickworld. I'm not Lego, I'm Brickworld. That I highly recommend you check these guys out, because as much as you go to Home Depot, as much as you go to the Container Store, as much as you go to these places, they've thought of everything already. And just look at like the menu here alone. Cabinet designer. They've got their entire shop here with gives everything that they offer. They have a blog about how to organize different things for different crafts. They've got a question center. They've got a gift place. They got videos on how to do everything, how to reorganize your entire space. Like, they've really thought about how to be a hobbyist. And if you're into more than just Lego, you really want to check them out, because they think of all hobbies. And that's what I hope, again, just to go back to these guys, that's what I hope Brickshell Cases starts doing, because as much as I can see this amazing set that you sit here on the wall and put all your minifigures in here, if you're into other sort of collectibles like action figures or Funko Pops, I think Brickshell Cases should move into that as well. I think that's the next great thing for them. But if you're like me and you're a hobby person, these are all things that will help all of your hobbies. So check these guys out. They're all about the community. They're all about helping you. And the more you know about these places, I think the happier your life will be. And these are all products that I believe, from my research, are affordable for most AFOLs.
Some questions about brick shell cases since you've worked with them a bit. I know they manufacture in the USA. Do you know where?
Texas.
Texas. Okay.
Mhm.
And I met someone who also represented brick shell
Mhm.
at the store in Roseville.
Yes, they're partnering with Bricks and Minifigs. So
Okay.
you can find them at most Bricks and Minifigs stores. I do believe they are in all of them now, although I may be wrong.
They're in Roseville for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a whole bunch of different ones that I had some interest in. I do want to know though,
Yeah.
and maybe you can tell me on that Fabuland case, is the distance between the feet studs for those an even number of bricks? Do you know?
So because they're Fabuland figures, they're going to be different than minifigures. And what Brickshell
Okay.
Cases focuses on is regular minifigures. So let me get this thing open. I can show you how this works. Again, it's a real tight fit. So give me a minute. I wanted to do it on screen, but I need all my fingernails. Um, so there's 2 studs for each minifigure that you display.
Right.
Look,
So
flexing.
between the two pairs of studs, there's some space. Is
Yes.
it an even number of studs between that space so that you could put a plate all the way across the bottom of
Oh, I see the question.
the case? If not, that's something I would say we recommend to them, so that you could actually put a build inside of there, not just minifigs, attached right to the bottom of the case.
So it does seem to be about 3 studs wide. Let me see. Let me see if that's what it is.
Okay. And I don't care if it's an odd number, just so long as you could attach a plate or whatever all the way across.
I
So I
care.
think,
They'll listen. Like if I tell
yeah,
them like make this even, they can take that feedback and try to implement it.
yeah, might be a good idea. I don't need a commission from them. I'm just, throwing that out there. Something you can advertise and then use it for more than just minifigs, if that works. So,
Oh, it's exactly 3 studs.
what do you know?
It's exactly 3 studs.
So if you had a 6 studder there, it should be able
Well,
to cross if it was not for the Fabuland guys.
if you wanted to, well, no, they could do it too because they're at least 2 studs wide. They're also 2 studs deep. That's the only difference. I think like so what that allows you to do is put if you want to put underneath if you are into doing this with collectible minifigures and you want to put the actual like collectible minifigure base down.
And they had that on some of them, and it looked like there was a 1 stud gap between them. I couldn't tell for sure.
You nailed it. That's exactly what it is.
Okay. And
Yeah.
as long as that's the case,
That's
you could essentially put a build in here too, not just the minifigs.
Do you know how happy this makes me? Let me just like I know said we would stop talking about this.
That
And
brings you joy for sure.
I I look at this and I'm just like, there they are. And I've purposely put in Fabuland figures that meant something to me growing up. So it's like my family. Don't
Yeah.
get me crying again. So
No, I won't.
I like
But
to see them because I don't want to necessarily use them in creations or use them in displays, but I want to see them. Otherwise, they would just sit in a drawer. So
so I just want to say though,
you say like,
right?
hey, here's Barney, here's Henry. It means a lot to me. I do love that someone has thought of this because especially the ones that hang on the wall. I do wish one thing I will say, and this is a criticism of someone who I'm promoting, they don't have a 12 minifigure wall mounted.
Okay.
And I think they're trying to think of like, well, you want your wall space, let's make it at least 24 or something like that. I wish I could put my original 12 Fabuland figures that I had when I was a kid up on the wall.
Well, you know what I think you should do then? Get the 24
Yeah.
and build little backgrounds for them, stud it right down on there,
So cute.
and they can all stand in front of their little backgrounds.
Okay,
Um,
I'm gonna 100% do that. All right, so now I'm gonna order the 24Ks. We're gonna see that next week or the week after.
Monica loves the idea.
I
Loves
do.
how much joy it brings you. Loves all that.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, you said neither you nor Matt are the romantic type. I get a free pass on Valentine's Day because of Mara. Thank you, Mara. I love you forever. Um, but
Okay, yeah.
if you do have a Lego fan in your life and you want to get them a Valentine's Day present,
Hmm.
brick shell case. Why not try that out?
Oh, hell yes.
Put their favorite minifigure in there or minifig with the cute heart background.
And since we just saw that they are an even number of studs apart, or like they're a number of studs apart, maybe not even because it was a 1x3. And looking at the big one on screen right now, it looks like they're two studs apart, but it does look like they think of that. You can put all of you can put all of the Valentine sets from this year in. You can put as many hedgehogs as you want into.
Just what I needed.
Yes, you can make an entire case of Lego built hedgehogs, which makes everyone feel romantic.
Why wouldn't it?
I know, right?
Hedgehogs are amazing. Well, then let's talk about the pictures.
Let's please do that.
We have been stalling, not stalling, but getting into our usual tangents. But let's do
Inadvertent
this
stuff.
today.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's
Ooh,
let's
what's
talk first about this. So Lego is doing a series, and I believe someone else who occasionally will frequent our show and friend of ours, Nicole, Girl Bricks a lot.
Oh yeah.
She's a big race fan, from what I can tell.
Yay.
Um, I think she's got a Formula One jacket of some variety.
Oh,
Uh,
should we have her on for a special like sort of speed champions?
she might be down for that.
I
I
think she
think
would.
she's got some affinity for this because I think I saw on her Instagram today she may have already had this set, which I don't think's due out for a little while yet. Um, I don't follow a ton of people on Instagram, but she's prolific with posting, so her stuff always comes up every time I'm out there, along with
Well, and
Simon and a few other ones. And I believe I saw this set with her wearing a Formula One jacket of some sort out there.
can we just say she's also very engaging?
Oh, she is.
Gee.
Indeed. I it's funny because um you introduced her to me at Brickworld and described her as a real influencer. She could not have been nicer though.
Yeah.
Um she's very down to earth. Of course, when we did the Lego Crimes episode,
Oh my,
my crime involved YouTube. I asked her if she had any YouTube beef. She was, she didn't. Everyone loves her, right?
yeah.
But I have laughed hard at some of her Instagram reels. And she gets it. I'll just say, if
Yes,
you don't think she gets it, she gets it. The
100%.
the how much Lego I buy, just bring me to the Lego store if you want to show me a good time, right? She knows all of it.
Yes. I'm glad.
But
I'm glad you find that with her. I'm glad two of my friends are friends.
yeah, but they are getting into sort of like this Legends of Racing thing. This particular set features a racer who I can only assume is a legend. I don't know him at all, but a very nice set, nonetheless, of what I assume is his actual McLaren MP4/4 race car.
What's his signature say there? What's his name?
It's Anton something. I know it says it on the package too, because it's actually titled the name of the car and Anton. He's apparently a 1988 Formula One Constructors Cup champions. I think the Constructors Cup is made up there, but apparently Fabufan Milwaukee confirms a giant legend, Anton.
A bit of a legend. Doesn't offer us any more information. Which, by the way, after watching you and Jesse slog through the Animal Crossing sets, I was like, why? Why? So let's not even try.
It's March, because it's March.
Yeah,
Legos come out March. These are,
I got it. I got
you
it.
know, we just wanted to cover some of the other stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But here it is. I see some parts that I'm interested in, like whatever's holding the wheels on here. I like this.
I like that a lot.
Um, and the coloration is nice. I don't usually buy cars for the cars.
His name is apparently Ayrton Senna.
Okay, our Ayrton Senna. I am,
Get
however, looking forward to this piece, whatever it is.
100.
Two-time world champion.
And I can see that being your piece. Can you imagine that piece was available in orange?
Yes,
Do with it?
or light bluish gray. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in it, and I can see it looks like it fits as a Technic piece. it's fitting between a couple of
Yeah.
Technic bits here. So that's the part I think's cool.
I
Don't know anything about the sport, but maybe Girl Bricks-a-Lot's really into
Oh,
it.
it's freaking fascinating. I watched my first NASCAR race recently. Actually, this is not a NASCAR car.
It's not. This is a Formula One car.
Formula One. Never mind then.
Yep. Here it is.
Hey,
Here's the box picture. So there it is.
Ayrton Senna. Hey,
Ayrton Senna. So I think they're calling it the so McLaren and Senna. Look, you can see his name here, Senna. I think I've seen this logo before. Now I know it's associated with this guy.
so I think like this reminds me of. Do you remember the Shell racer from like 1982?
Oh, yeah, we got the Shell logo on here.
Yeah, it looks a bit like this. I appreciate the nostalgia of that. I think I got that set. I think I had a little bit of a phase of like Technic in my youth when they had the figures.
Yeah. You're all about the weird and crazy sized figures. That's Mark for you. Yeah, so
That is
here's one of the sets. Interesting couple parts that I'm looking forward to seeing. Maybe I'll hear this part's available all over the place, but I haven't seen it at least. Another one. This is a pullback racer. The only thing that I find interesting about
racer.
this one
Yeah.
in particular, it's a pullback, is it's basically the small affordable version of the bigger set here.
What? Oh,
So here's the big one. So we go from the little affordable one to the big dog.
Favorite fan Milwaukee says they forgot the Marlboro sponsors. Yeah, they quote unquote forgot them.
Forgot, yeah.
Wow.
But that's kind of cool that you could get them both.
Interesting that they're coming out with both in the same year. Yeah.
Yeah. You can see again on the back wheel there, they've got that piece again. At least I think they do. It's different than the front one.
What's making the spoiler? Not spoiler. What would I call it? Like the lip thing on the engine intake.
This?
Yeah.
The seat? I think those are the macaroni piece.
Yeah. Yeah. Good call.
Yep. So kind of interesting that they're doing the same set.
Yeah.
There's box one, box two. 1, 2. So
yeah. Killing
this is a 1/8 scale apparently.
I love that aqua color, but it seems to all be either stickers or decoration.
Here, it looks like we get one piece in that aqua color at least.
Oh well,
just one way in the back.
Yeah, worth it.
There it is. One thin Technic lift arm.
So I think the entire the fender at the front, that looks like all new pieces to me, as far as I know about Technic.
Yeah, it could be. They're definitely an interesting shape. So anyway, again, I'm not a big race car guy. I usually just get them for the parts.
Same.
But a couple of interesting pieces in here for sure. This one I might be more affordable since it's a Speed Champion set and it's got orange in it. Double bonus.
Yep.
Looks like we've got a piece here that I haven't quite seen because it appears to be this 1x3 wedge with the bevel on it.
Is it 1x3 or is it 1x2?
1, 2, 3. It looks like it's 3 because it comes out to here, I think.
Yes.
From what I can tell. And it's also got that flat wedge with the corner cut out of it that we've seen as well.
You are definitely going to get this.
For sure. I think this is definitely one I'll end up with quite a few of.
It has the Google logo on the hubs.
And I think this is a spoon here used for the mirrors. Black spoon.
Nice.
So I think that's pretty funny too. But yeah, there's some stuff on here I like. Apparently Chrome, yes. Chrome Smart Sheet is one of the sponsors.
I think you talked about this with ACOB on the last stream, that Speed Champions kind of has like the highest piece count per price, and they have like a lot of new molds.
They do. I I find that I buy the Speed Champion sets for that reason. Is
Yeah.
they're a good price to part. They have new pieces all the time, and it's tons of, I can here in black. This looks like that same new piece here.
Uh-huh.
Looks like there's some another one here that's kind of this curved beveled piece that I'm interested to see what it is.
Black with a turquoise sticker on it, or dark azure. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a number of things. Also, looks like a little bit of orange flex tube. I'll
Yes,
take that for sure.
I thought you would.
Um, so anyway, this is
An actual like half arch that actually stuck to that position.
yeah. I'll tell you right now, McLaren and Speed Champions has been my jam for orange.
Good.
I'm also guessing that this piece in here that we can't see super well. I'm guessing this is the steering wheel. It might be that they like using the controller piece now as like the Formula One style racing wheel, the tile piece from the collectible minifigures
Oh,
as a game controller.
hmm.
So that looks like it's in like a pearl silver color, pearl dark silver.
Okay.
So lots to see on this little set.
Yeah.
I'll definitely end up buying a few of them. And there it is. It doesn't look like the guy can see out very well between the little bar and his thing there, but
I don't think they need to see much.
yeah, I don't think that this compares um, to the other McLaren sets.
No.
Quite the same. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this one. I got to move down. We don't need to talk about that right away.
Okay.
Let's talk about Harry Potter.
What's happening right here?
We got Hagrid, I assume, but maybe not. No, I think that's Sirius Black.
That's Sirius Black.
Yep.
That's Hermione.
Hermione. Harry with some dirt on him.
Dirt?
Or whatever that is. Blood, I suppose. Blood.
Got in the chest here. And that's his what are they called?
Patronus or whatever it is.
Yeah, and that's a
the Death Eater.
Dementor.
Dementor. So I don't know. It's
Wait, well, I do like the transparent slope.
Uh-huh.
The Patronus has a number of great pieces.
If you like this color, I got the actual large set.
Oh yeah, great.
So I don't know if I'll take this or not. It does look like this blue stuff is like the sparkly version.
Yeah. So Brick Orphanage has to say the right one is a few pieces away from
the Dementor.
Locutus of Borg.
Locutus of Borg. Yeah, almost. We've almost got Locutus there.
Locutus. Thank you. Sorry.
Locutus.
Oops, sorry.
And Joellen thinks that's hilarious, and we agree. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting look, to say the least. Yeah. And then is this the chocolate bar down here that Harry was carrying? I don't remember all the Harry Potter lore.
You need one after you've been in contact with a Dementor.
Okay.
You need chocolate.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sparkly piece in there. So there's the box art. Whatever. I guess is sort of my reaction to it. Okay, I want to talk about the Sorting Hat.
I want the parts.
Why do we have the Sorting Hat? If you want brown Sorting Hat, it is brown on brown on brown on brown on brown.
With sound pieces.
Sound pieces?
Yep.
There are sound pieces. Does it, based on where you rotate the thing below, does it like tell you which house you're going to?
Yes, I guess.
Duh. 31 different sound combinations.
Resistance is futile, says Dawn.
Yeah.
And
I want this.
Yes, there are sound bricks. Dawn also says it looks like a pile of poo. Of course so we need this, Dawn, by the way, in a very large bottle.
This thing is large. You can also see it's got like a craggly rock piece on the side here.
Craggly? Craggly? Why is that?
Craggle's not quite the right word. Craggy.
Okay. As craggly means it's glued together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Craggle doesn't actually mean that, but in Lego lore, yes, it does. I get it.
Okay. So craggy.
Craggy,
Okay.
a
I.
sharp-looking rock piece. Um, so yeah, we've got the Sorting Hat here. Apparently, the mouth moves and it has 31 different sounds. But I got to talk about this.
No. Oh, no. 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 All right. So
Why did they do it? Why did they do it?
I have several problems with this. Let's start with the picture on the left. Uh,
I don't know.
what's it showing us there? That
I don't know.
can you change the angle of the tip of the hat?
Well, I think that the tail in the back is what moves the mouth. So I'm not sure what that does. Maybe we can tell from the box. It looks like it moves.
Oh, I don't care anymore about this.
Oh, maybe. Well, okay, maybe the mouth, the tail does something else because it looks like they're saying push this down and his eyebrows move perhaps and his mouth opens.
Oh dear Lord.
I don't know.
I
I'm not sure. There's some function when you push that thing down though.
So the picture on the right, of course, is what
Yes.
we really want to talk about.
Yes.
Yes, Angel Cake. What are you doing? What do they
Mm,
think? Brick orphanage, yes. Do they think people are going to use it this way?
it's not like it actually fits on her head,
No, no, no,
but
no.
they're like, look at look at me hold this goofy Sorting Hat up to my head. I just like, why? Okay, I get that it's a hat, but are they just like, please look, this won't actually fit your head and you'll look like an idiot if you put it on top of your head. I don't know. But it was one of my favorite lifestyle shots that I've ever seen
No,
because
it's
it's
the
just
best
so ridiculous.
ever. The best.
Oh man.
Yeah. And look, kudos to her for selling it.
Oh yeah, she's selling it all right. Like, look up here.
Yeah. That she earned her day rate for this photo shoot for sure. Um, I think what we should do is have a Sorting Hat episode where we invite a bunch of our fellow friends to do this.
Should bring just we can do a photo shoot at Brick World where you're a member of the Tainted and you have to put you have to put the Sorting Hat on your head.
Yeah.
Just be warned, we will probably use it for blackmail purposes if we ever get monetized or something. I
Easily.
don't
Oh
know.
yeah, 100%.
Uh, by volunteers tribute, says Paige. Thank you, Paige.
I stopped hitting it.
I didn't. So Paige is in. Tribute is the wrong show, but that's okay. Even if it's the wrong fandom, yes. Thank you,
Yeah.
Paige.
No, they should kind of like cross over in that respect.
Yeah.
I'll accept that.
But this was my favorite lifestyle shot that I've seen in a long time. I was just like, oh, Mark's gonna love
Yeah.
this.
Oh my god. Love slash hate. And I think Paige is right that like we should make it part of something that we do at Brick World and make it that sort of like there's a Hunger Games aspect to it. Like once you put it on, we're gonna give you something to do besides.
Mhm.
This
If you
is,
want to be on Lego Masters, round one is to wear the Sorting Hat.
then I shall never be on Lego Master.
Yeah, that this I fear this hat would look even stupider on me if that's possible.
Oh my god, we have to find out.
We do.
We definitely do. So
We
this
definitely
is,
do.
so since this is our favorite like lifestyle shot ever, we have to make it a thing.
I can't get over this. It's too much. Okay, away from the Sorting Hat. We have some adorable sea animals.
We'll come back to the Sorting Hat.
I'm sure we will. Um,
Parts pack. This is
Parts pack. Yep. 421 pieces. It probably won't be more than $30.
Oh, Don, there's going to be video. Like we're going to make an entire episode revolve around the Sorting Hat. Trust us. We're
Don't
gonna.
you don't you worry about it.
Yeah. I like very much the zebrafish in this.
Yeah, I don't love the seahorse. He kind of looks stupid. The rest of them I'm for. I like the rest of them.
It's a parts pack, really.
Definitely a parts pack. Lots of bright colors.
The
Not
crab.
a lot of one color,
No.
but a good variety of several colors.
Yes. Agreed.
So I don't know. It's cute. What's kind of interesting here is this isn't. It says it's a 3-in-1, so there are slight variations. But for the most part, they're just other fishes.
The one to the left is like,
The green squid is kind of like
yeah,
the octopus. I'm kind of like I don't know.
it's like a green octopus and a pink squid, and they're like, yeah, trust us, it's a different build. Okay.
Yeah, it's not the same, but it's the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
Same thing up here. It's like, oh, there's a slightly bigger fish and another zebrafish. So this one, I'm kind of like, okay, the alternative builds could have been a little more
Yeah.
different.
Paige says like the crab doesn't look right. What I feel is like the crab looks like it's Disneyfied. And then Brick Orphan says nice starter aquarium, which lots of people like to do. That's fair.
I don't dislike the main set. I do think that the alternate builds are too similar.
Agreed.
Um, I don't think I would ever be tempted to buy 3 of these so I could build all 3 models.
Never.
It's just like straight parts pack. The turtle is my favorite, I would say, of all of them. But it's aight. Okay, I want to talk about a few of the Ninjago sets because I know one in particular you want to mention.
Okay.
Nothing is spectacular about this one, in my opinion.
Well, Dan, it gives you some fun orange pieces.
Yeah, I think there's probably the light bright orange. But here's that railroad or coaster track, the mini coaster track again.
Are you opposed to the light bright orange?
No, I have a whole bucket of it. I would like to integrate that more into my collection as time
Okay.
goes on.
Well, with those wheel hubs, you can make some really
Yeah.
great Art Deco columns.
I've got some big yeah, because the Art Deco used a lot of bright light orange as their column color of choice.
Yes.
It looks like it's light bright orange in the front and dark blue in the back.
Join us. Be one of us.
So the question is that a baby rock dragon? I believe Brick Orphanage, they have done this baby dragon now for 2 years, so this is the 2nd year. I do like these weapons though. They're pretty cool. If a little cartoony, but that's kind of got a nice vibe to it, and I don't mind this one. What's also kind of been true about weird shaped weapons is they often come in a pack with like a bunch of weapons in them. I don't know if that's the case here, but an interesting piece there.
Yeah. I like it.
Guess what? Another mech.
Right?
This one's got extra arms though. That's kind of cool.
It's the year of the mech.
Yeah. I got the split toe again.
What's going on in the left-hand corner? What is that? The dark blue dog thing.
I don't know. What is that thing?
I don't know. That's why I asked.
Oh, not sure.
I'm offended.
We're getting pitched about upgrading our audio. Hey, that's probably not a bad idea, but we gotta get some YouTube money before we get ourselves a new microphone.
Well, thank you, Luli, for your first comment in the tainted being a criticism. But yes, we are always worried about our audio.
We are, for sure.
It's not great.
So, quality of life Vesper 2. So, okay, well. Mechs is what Don tells us. Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of mechs. I think what's good about the mechs in a very general sense is that they have joint pieces that I'm always after,
Mm-hmm.
as well as they usually have a fairly high um, price to parts ratio for
Yeah.
most of the sets.
Yeah.
So there's some attraction to them for me for parts packs, but yeah, I think I agree with the sentiment of it's another mech, because really it is. Um, this one, on the other hand,
Ooh.
I
Nice.
Luli. This one, on the other hand, I don't mind so much. I like the wolf head build in the middle. I like the dark blue. I like the color scheme that they've used
Yeah.
for this. And I think this is the second wave of this particular Ninjago thing. Looks like they also have like a battle down here um, where you can control a couple of guys battling it out.
Yeah.
So I think this one in particular, I do find some attraction to for sure.
Especially the foliage pieces, because there seems to be a lot of new like dark blue dinosaur tails, or
Yeah, I think they're black, but we got the dark blue leaves and then these bright
oh,
magenta leaves as well.
well, the dark blue the dark blue leaves were only available previously in the Stranger Things set.
Okay.
So to see them
One,
available
two,
again,
five of them.
here to order them. Page says parts to price rather than price to parts.
Well, okay. Um, we always called it the price to parts ratio. I don't know which one it ends up coming out as or being, but you know what we mean. The more pieces you can get for the less money is the more betterer.
Hey Ben,
Yeah,
what makes these window pieces?
these ones here,
Yeah,
I
because there's
think they're one piece.
and a thinner one to the left.
This one looks different. Yep. So I'm not sure. Let's zoom in a little. I think they're built in different ways because this I think is white brick with with the thingamajiggers with the slide rail piece,
Yeah. Okay.
as
Suzanne,
opposed to this, which I think is actually a window with uh
okay.
plate behind it. So I think
Suzanne
they're done in two different ways.
Suzanne Quijano suggests that they copied my Panda House colors and windows.
I mean, a little bit, a
Appreciate
little
it.
bit. But yeah, I do like the wolf head. I'm a fan of the wolf head. I'll take it.
I like it as well,
So wolf head, magenta,
though.
lots of cool things. I'm not quite sure how this is built either. These
Yeah.
Oh, it's this piece. Okay, it's this piece repeated. So this is an old panel piece.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that gets kind of thin. Sorry, I didn't really want to save the image. Looks like it's upside down here and then right side up on top, and then there's a
Oh, yeah, yeah.
tile over it.
I see that.
So this one I like.
Me too.
I'll give it some credit for that. I didn't move this far enough back. Okay, this is I know the one you want to talk about. Make
Yes.
sure I get this out of the way. Okay,
Okay. Yes.
what are you thinking on this one?
Um, I have never seen anything produced by the Lego group that is as beautiful as this. This is great.
So I wanted to ask you something about this.
Okay.
Do you remember a while ago, um, at Brick World, there was a build that sort of was reminiscent of this that won a Judge's Choice Award?
It was the
I know who built it, which is what I'm going to mention.
so
It
it was one of the floating island
Yes.
ones, and that was yeah. So I suggested that one,
Yep.
um, and yes. However, I think because of the character in the rocks, I find this separate enough where it didn't remind me of that.
But here's the timeout.
Okay.
That build was done by Isaac Schneider, who now works for Lego.
Okay.
So I have no idea if he was involved in this one, but
I
I
was.
was instantly reminded of that Judge's Choice build from that. It was the first time I believe that he had come to Brick World. Um, and great builder, his brother a great builder as well, whole family of great builders. But this instantly reminded me of his build.
So Don asked, "Is that a bracelet?" But I think that's clips and bars.
Yes, that's what it looks like. Yep, clips and bars versus the bracelet. So
Uh,
I don't know.
Brick Orphanage says people don't seem to like paying for the parts needed in rock work or enjoy building it. However, I think that they'll be okay with this one.
Yeah,
I, I,
and the tree.
I think they do so more when Lego produces it, and it brings more of this into the community when Lego actually does it. It does look amazing.
Yeah.
I agree with you that this, if he's working there now, this is probably definitely him.
Well, I know he did some Minecraft sets. I don't know if he's moved up to something like this. As far as I know, he still works there. I haven't heard anything different. But we knew him personally. He was a Guilds of Historical builder for a long
Yep,
time.
yep.
Uh, really nice kid. Um, but yeah, since this gave me that same vibe of that particular thing, I was immediately thinking, man, I wonder if this is something that Isaac did. Because it just reminded me so much of that floating island build that we got the Judges Award from.
That was a great build. That was an amazing, like transcendent sort of like creation. Reed is here, and he says he has lots of rock work to do for Chicago this year, and he agrees with Brick Orphanage. He is not looking forward to completing it.
Is that because it's going to be for a castle and all castles are stupid, or some other reason? I don't know. Um, but I think the one thing about this I will note is that most of it looks like it's light bluish gray. They
Mm-hmm.
tend to use dark bluish gray for rocks, but there's nothing saying we have to do that.
We talked about that. Yeah.
But it's kind of a mixture here.
Well,
A
the
little bit of dark bluish gray too.
I like how they put the olive green in
Yep.
almost seamlessly, which I can't seem to do.
And I think they have both dark orange, dark brown, and reddish brown
Mm-hmm.
all sort of working together here to make this tree that wraps around
Yep.
as well. So this is a very nice model. Depending on the price, it's probably a really good parts pack for castle builders and rockwork folk and tree builders as well. So I think this will be highly interesting. There are a lot of minifigures in this set though, which gives me a little bit of concern that it's going to end up being expensive. So
So Reed says underground new version of Hope Castle has not been started yet. Train show on 17th, 18th will be last show for Pendragon Fortress and current Hope Castle. So he's planning some major reconstruction for the stuff he typically brings to shows.
Castle Schmassel.
Yes. Yes, you hate Castle.
Yes. So here we go. Beautiful set. I'll be interested to know if Isaac's involved in this one or not. But very nice. It's one of those things where, sometimes I almost feel like compelled when I see something that Lego's designed that looks like exactly like a creator I know built it. I'm like
Uh,
almost mad for them. But in this case, I was like, it reminds me so much of that one that it might actually be Isaac that made it. Could be someone completely
yeah.
different and
Well,
just saw Isaac's and loved it. I don't know, but
they seem to hire more and more AFOLs.
they do
Yeah.
for sure. We know several.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay, so Lego is doing a 25th anniversary of Lego Star Wars set of sets. This one apparently is a mystery that they haven't announced is coming out yet. Whatever could it be?
Interesting. That looks like a Sith infiltrator.
Just it looks exactly like a Sith infiltrator.
Yes.
Looks like it has an Anakin and a Qui-Gon. Where the hell is Darth Maul? He's got to be in here somewhere.
So,
Probably off the screen where we can't see him.
or this questionable, like, who is this minifigure? Like the one off to the left? Who?
Well, so this is the whole thing here. So these little symbols down here
Yeah.
are supposed to tell us something about the personality of the rebel with a cause.
Mm,
Rebel meaning that it's a person from the rebellion, you would think.
okay.
Probably an odd figure that we haven't gotten yet.
Okay.
I think these symbols are supposed to mean they're loyal, cybernetic, and we don't know, or something, based on some other clues.
Star power. What?
So I don't know who it is specifically either. But the teaser image for this, I'm just like, well, you obviously know you're getting a Sith infiltrator.
Right.
Do I really care who the collectible minifigure is? Maybe some of the other ones have been interesting, but I don't know if I would tease it like this. I probably would just announce it and move
Right.
on.
It's a
But
very odd graphic.
yeah,
It looks like it was made by somebody without a graphic design degree, I'll say.
hmm my first thought is it's the uh, the droid that ends up becoming the computer for the Millennium Falcon. But I have no idea.
I don't
Could
know
be
who that is.
that one was from Solo. Probably only watched that movie once and then never wanted to see it again. So
I liked it.
it's okay. I don't know that I'd watch it 7 times. Let's see here. I guess I had problems. I loved Donald Glover in that as Lando.
Yeah.
He was awesome. I had problems associating the guy who played Han as being Han.
He's a great actor.
Might be a great actor. I just didn't feel like he was Han. I don't know. Okay, let's talk about the MIDI scale ships, though. So here's the first one, Millennium Falcon. I think I like the scale. I'm digging it, quite honestly.
All right.
They did do a MIDI scale Falcon a long time ago. It ended up becoming a major collector's item. There were people trading like their full-size UCS Falcons for the MIDI scale one.
Really?
Yeah, it became crazy. Joel's suggesting that maybe it's chibi style. I don't know about that. I think this is proportionally fine. It's just sort of
Chibi.
in this in between, micro scale size. Let's see here. Reed agrees. Reed sold his old MIDI scale Falcon. Oh, Reed, I hope you got something for it that wasn't, a pile of Chima figures or something.
Page says finally a Millennium Falcon she can afford.
Yeah, I like the stand. So I like this size. What do you think of this size? Are you a fan or not a fan?
I don't care.
Okay.
Like, I get parts packs basically, and for this, I don't see too much in there that is going to compel me to buy it for the parts. I mean, if this is what people want, great.
It's Greeble worthy. I think what attracts me to this, and we'll get to the other ones in a minute here.
Yeah, I agree with Joel, and that seems chibi to me. It seems like a little chunky, fatty.
I don't think so. I think it's pretty accurate. I think what I think, and think about this, I think that when we get to the other ships that are of similar scale, these will look great as display pieces.
Okay.
In particular, I think they'll work well for collectors who want to display them because they don't take up an enormous amount of space, yet they're still that, I think, fairly accurate.
Yeah.
Look-wise to the Falcon. I mean, obviously you can tell what this is instantly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like it's cut down on a ton of detail to get it here.
I can see that. I think that the thing is, for me personally, I'm just not a collector anymore.
Yeah.
So I have no interest.
That's fair. There's the box, though. Looks nice.
Cute box. Yes, I agree.
Probably.
Great graphic design on the box. That's more where I'm at in life. So just to back up for a second.
Why do we even need to see this comment?
Because Reed is going down.
I know what he wrote.
There's going to be a huge Chima invasion at Chicago this year. Before
On spaceships?
there's in space invading these spaceships.
That's just weird. I think I'm gonna have spaceships invading Hope Castle. What do you think of that?
Well, that's why we needed to address this.
But now he knows my plan, Mark. Okay. Well,
Well,
anyway.
that's your own doing, my friend.
All right. So then we've also got the blockade runner.
I think it's Tantive.
Tantive. I was like, I do not know how to say this very well, so let's go with that.
Yeah,
Tantive, Tantive,
but
whatever.
no, I don't think there's like. Can we look it up on Google? Like,
I don't know.
how do you pronounce this word? Google.
So I have a couple sizes of the blockade runner. I have like the tiny ones that have come attached to Star Destroyers, and then I have the UCS sized one, and then they also had a minifig sized one. But here it is, another of this smaller size one. I do not think it's in perfect scale with the Falcon,
Yeah.
but it's still that same kind of size type that I think will be just about right for displaying on a desk if you're a collector.
Yeah.
Parts pack wise, I don't think this is bad either.
Mm-mm.
Especially if you're looking for some white, a little bit of dark red.
It's a lot of white.
A lot of white.
Well, I agree with Don here. This is exactly what I was saying. I don't do display pieces either. I like parts. I
buy parts pieces.
do think this is a good representation of the blockade runner because the way it flows together is different than the other ones that we've seen. Reed says if you could work them into a scaled mock, they might look good. Yeah, but as Ben just pointed out, I don't think they're in the same scale at this point.
I don't think they're quite right. Yeah.
No. And
Tantive, I think.
Yeah,
kind of how you'd read that.
Yeah, it is, and that's how I thought it was pronounced. But
yeah, I just always go with blockade runner, so I don't have to bother.
But
this one's quite. It's got about 2/3 the pieces of the Millennium Falcon.
Okay.
So definitely not going to be scaled quite right. But another nice one for collectors, and if you want priced apart. Hopefully, it'll only cost $50, but it'll probably be $60.
Yeah.
Here's another one. I think this is the Invisible Hand.
Dreadnought?
It is the Invisible Hand. So this is a Clone Wars Era 1.
Is that Talon Carday's ship? Hello?
What, huh? What?
Is that Talon Carday's ship? Whose ship is that?
I think if this is the one I'm thinking of, this was the first ship to have ion cannons.
Okay.
And it was a Grievous vessel, and he would use this thing to launch attacks on ships to knock them completely out. It was the first use of an ion cannon.
Wow.
So I believe that's what this one is. It's not the other one. What's the other one called? The one that ended up maybe no, I don't think it was the one that Dooku had when he had kidnapped the Emperor, and they were on the tall spire, and they ended up crashing the ship into Coruscant or whatever.
Okay.
I don't think it's that one. I think this is the one that they were using to introduce the concept of an ion cannon.
Okay.
So this one's definitely a little more niche. I think that's what these three blue things are on the side. Is it supposed to represent the ion cannon weapon?
Okay. Yeah, seriously, where is Realgar when you need him?
Yeah, no kidding.
Way to take the night off, Realgar. It's a nice build, though. I like the parts that are available. We have like the Gear 2 thing. I haven't seen it in a while. We have dark gray, dark blue with some of these slopes here. Seems all right. I mean, I would not buy this for the sake of what it is because I don't care.
Yeah. I don't think it's the most I don't think it's the most amazing build I've ever seen.
It's
It's
Tante.
kind of an odd choice.
It's pronounced Tante V? Really?
Not 5? What do I know?
No, I don't like that. But if that's the answer, that's the answer. But I don't like the answer if that's it. It makes me upset. It makes me very upset.
Uh, the old Wikipedia is suggesting the Invisible Hand was the ship that the Chancellor was on. So then I don't know if it was both. I thought I remembered it from the Clone Wars as the one that was launching um, all of the ion cannon stuff, but could be both. I don't know. Doesn't really matter too much. We're talking about the Lego aspect.
I thought it was.
If you're into it, you're into it. Otherwise,
Oh,
of the ships, I'm least excited about this one by far.
I thought it was Talon Carday's ship, but that might be somebody else. Anybody here know the Thrawn trilogy to correct me on the pronunciation of Talon Carday? And what was his ship's called? What was his ship called? Anybody? Brick Orphanage says, make that Tanti 5. That's what I thought it was. Tanti 5 is what I thought the ship was called. Anyway, good thing we're talking about this a lot.
Yeah.
You guys want death again? Because we can do that.
No kidding. No, let's not do that. We can answer to this. We talked about these without you, so just your quick thoughts.
Yeah.
R2D2, tinier version. What do you think?
Adorable.
Okay, fair enough. And then the
Tan, like the color, he's killing it here. Tantive 5.
Tantive.
Fine, dude, fine.
The Tantive one. What do we think?
I agree with you guys on this one that it's just another hallway. However, it is iconic. I wouldn't mind this one on a shelf for myself. I will show you what I did back in.
Maybe this was last week when I was by myself because all I could talk about was how much does this stupid thing cost. I think it was confirmed $55 from ACOB.
Whichever week it was, you did get stuck there.
Yeah, I couldn't get over that it was what the price was, but at $55, I don't know, man. It's 6 minifigures plus the exclusive. I don't know.
No, that's all good, man.
So whatever.
No, you did a great episode. I was very impressed with your ability to draw it out as long as you did and engage people. And I listened to the entire thing. I was like, oh yeah, man, you're killing it.
Except for the part where I was like, 50. What's the price? It's gonna depend on the price. Yeah, if you need white, and you like the minifigures, go for it. Otherwise, pass. Hallway, pass. Weird set. Brick Orphanage, I guess, is like, no, I'm all about it. The best scene of all Star Wars. Oh boy. Shows what you know. Here's the best scene.
Yes.
Who made this ridiculous thing here with the sheep? I do like the sheep as stormtroopers. I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
But this thing's just ridiculous. That's all I have to say.
That's all you have to say?
No, I do love it. It's super adorable. Oh, Ham Solo. Or Ham Solo.
No. With that, no, it's the first scene, so it wasn't Ham Solo yet. It's just
like Ham Solo.
He was fodder for the fire. There's Darth Vader.
What's the? It's a bear, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm just told by okay, now get Lego to make a set out of that. Well, that's what I feel about this Tantive 5 set. I'm like, really?
Tantive.
Ah, man.
That's it, huh?
Who look better as Ice Bear Troopers? Disagree hard.
Yeah, boo.
But that's up to you. That's what you can say.
Boo.
Read all you want. But we already know Castle's stupid. Chima is not the bestest.
She was dumber.
Chima's the knockoff Fabuland.
Poor Reed. I love Reed.
I do too, but
He's wrong. He's wrong.
I gotta jab him a little bit. So
Hey, congratulations to Reed, by the way. They just had their 300th episode
wow.
of Bricks. 300.
Wow.
Damn, killing it.
That's a lot of episodes.
We're on 37.
So it's just 10 times more than what we've done. Not
That's
not literally, but 9 times
yeah,
more.
it's something like that. Yeah, 9 and some.
Chima is what happens when Fabuland gets more detail.
You burn in hell and you die. Anyway, I love you.
I'm gonna be fair. I don't think any of the Fabuland characters have any tails. So
you're welcome. You're welcome, Reed. Way to go with that. That's amazing and inspiring to us, for sure.
Amazing, at least. Come on, Reed. Come on.
Why are we stuck on this image? This is like
I don't know.
Oh, by the way, Ben. So the new
take this off here.
The new Animal Crossing news is just that we have 2 sets coming out on August 1st.
Yeah.
And one's $80, one's $50, and we know piece counts and prices, and we have there's no images out. Yeah. So I did not mean to like just attack you from the ship I was on and my vacation. To be like, hey, look this up. And I saw you look it up in real time, and I was like, oh, shit, sorry. Yeah, because it's not out there yet. It's just the fact that we have 2 new SKUs. They have numbers, they have piece counts, they have price points, but we don't know what they are yet. So, but there'll be 2 new sets for Animal Crossing coming out in August, and I just can't wait. I can't wait for the March ones. They're not available on pre-order yet on shop.lego.com. It's driving me nuts. What's
wrong with them?
I want them in my hands.
Yeah. So little bit of a gauntlet thrown here. Lots of cool people have been on the show, waiting for Z to be a part of the panel. Where's my invite?
Yeah.
Friday nights have been hard lately. I've been busy like every Friday for the last 2 months. But usually I don't have anything going on Fridays, but it's been crazy.
Z would rock that stream, by the way. I think.
Well, I can't guarantee I would play nice, but I would play.
Yeah.
I want to show you this quick because we were just talking about it. Here's Nicole's.
Oh God.
Stream. So look, she's got the set there, and here she is wearing a Formula One jacket of some variety. So we might. Yeah, if you can reach out to her, this might be something she'd like to talk about. You can also see Jesse's Brick Galaxy, also another follower I have down, or that I follow down here.
Ben, let me ask you: is Nicole not the coolest person you know? Look at her.
Maybe. Could be.
Oh, followed shortly by Jesse. I love watching your streams with Jesse.
Could have him on. Just we've got all 3 of us on one time. I think we should do. When I was at the Bricks and Minifigs opening in Roseville, I got some intel that his Closet of Shame rivals my Closet of Shame. I think we could do a super Closet of Shame episode with Jesse.
We can have him on anytime. That's my point. Is like,
yeah,
when the 3 of us were on talking together, like it felt really natural.
Yeah.
You like I kind of like. So I have a thing when I check out somebody's stream or like or their channel, like I have a big voice problem. I like our voices because they're calm and measured. Well, at least yours is. Mine's a little more manic, but like I can't watch some streams even if I want to know what they're saying because their voices are so like up and bright and like I'm like I can't take it. So I think those are the streams that are more successful than ours. But I would rather hear our voices. Like the really fast paced, like high pitched voices. I have a Closet of Shame piece this week. Are you prepared to do a Closet of Shame segment to close this out tonight?
I certainly can. I can find one.
All right, I've got one right here.
Okay, I'll take myself off camera so no one has to see me walking around. I'll solo mark and I'll go find something. So
Okay, so here's another Closet of Shame piece from me. I don't know that this will actually constitute the shame that I feel, but it's another one of those pieces that my husband bought me as a Christmas or a birthday or Valentine's Day, not Valentine's Day, present that I've never opened. But it was like one of those things where he was like, well, I'm in a relationship with a Lego fan, so I want to get him something different. And he got me this. It's it's when Lego was trying to like jump into the board game market, and it was the Hobbit game piece. And there's a lot of pieces in here I would really like to use for landscaping. And I don't know that I can open it without building it and trying to play it first. Alex, are you too late for what? You're never too late for anything here. You join us whenever. We're just rambling mostly. Paige says, that's awesome. Thank you. It is a very basic piece set, but it's a lot of green, a lot of brown. Hawk says hello to everyone, and we very much love our Hawkeye Lego man. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Good to see you here again. I miss you when you're not here, and I 100% mean that. Joellen says she's been collecting all the Lego board games, so she's kind of jealous. Sorry, I did not mean to flex with my Closet of Shame. Paige says Milwaukee game night Saturday night. Oh, we could totally do that. That would be fun. And that way, at least we're using it before I like part it out into like using it as landscaping. And then Brick Orphanage says, has awesome micro helmets, does it? Wait a minute. Let me look at this. I didn't know that this was like, I really did not know that this was a flex.
yeah, they had
what,
a number of board games when they came out with them. That
yeah,
dice piece, like
yeah,
people use all the time connecting stuff to them to like make cargo containers and other cool things.
yeah,
But there are a number of sets that came out that had a lot of one particular element because it was
yes.
a repeating part of the build that was like, only available in that set.
The Hobbit home entrances, which has a like 1x4 green curve slope, and just like a lot of bases that I would use in landscaping. And it breaks my heart because I've done this to Matt several times where he like buys me something where he's like, this is different than what you want, but I want to build this and play this with you. So if we can get him to Milwaukee this year and then play this on game night Saturday night, then
Yeah.
happy, and then I can just like take it home and just put it into my build. But yeah, this is like it's a special set to me because Matt bought it for me. But also at the same time, I'm like, what do I do with something that feels special? Because I want the parts from inside. It's only going to be special.
Gotta play it at least once.
Yeah,
get
exactly.
The memory.
Get that out of the way. When do we do it? So Matt's 50th birthday happens to be in 2 weeks.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
So I have plans for that. And I don't think he watches this. I'm pretty sure he does not. However, we've got things going on. And I will be happy to report back if I'm successful with surprising him for his 50th birthday or not.
In 3 weeks. Just as long as it doesn't include that disgusting St. Louis cheese.
Oh, no shit. Provel?
Provel. As long as there's no Provel involved, then I'm down.
But let's check back in and make sure, because those of you guys who know Matt know that he is deserving of a really happy 50th birthday.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So
kind of had to scramble because my Closet of Shame has a lot of new sets piled on top.
Okay.
So it's hard to get down to the,
Hey, don't worry about it. I blind grabbed. I closed my eyes and grabbed something.
Yeah, so this is what I ended up with. It
Oh,
is one of
that's a bit of a flex too.
a number of Slave Ones that have come out. This one in particular is interesting to me for two reasons. One, they finally changed the name to Boba Fett Starship, which is probably a bit controversial. They could no longer call it the Slave One, its actual name. This is the Mandalorian version, apparently. So it came with both figures. The scale is just strange. It's scaled more towards like the
Yeah,
first version of the Slave One instead of some of the more recent ones.
yeah.
But I love this ship. I love the colors, and it was fairly inexpensive, and I bought a bunch of them on clearance.
I'm gonna hit some of these comments while you're talking about
Yeah.
this. Hawkeye says, "I'm glad to be here. Holding some of his birthday gifts. Happy birthday to you, sir." Reed also says he bought a bunch of the Magma Monster games on sale for 16 by 16 orange base plates. Yes.
There you go.
Hawkeye then followed up with, "I'm trying to combine the two Z Blob Dream sets." Yeah, all right. Dream sets. We talked about those for a while.
Yeah,
Hawkeye says, "That's a tough call. I had the robot game
but I parted it out.
and parted it out." And then Paige says, "Happy early birthday." I agree. Joellen says, "There's a guy in my life who makes transformers who actually transform." Yes, they're beautiful too. It would be great if you could achieve that with these two Z Blob sets. And then we got two more. Dawn admits that Matt is a saint. Yes, he
He
put
is.
me, you guys.
I assume Matt's birthday is before Z Spouse, who says, "When is his birthday? Must not be too far from mine. Yours is more than 2 weeks away, Rachel. So, I mean, Z Spouse.
February
So his is before yours for sure."
February 27th.
Okay.
Wednesday.
So it's not that far away from Rachel's
I
birthday.
think so.
Rachel's birthday is within the next week.
Hawkeye says he's pretty sure he's aware of who Joe Ellen is talking about. So, Ben, back to you.
Because there are only 28 days in February, it is
There's 29 this year, my friend.
this year, yes. So this year it'll be slightly more than usual, but
Was
within a week, it's less than a week.
she a March Pisces?
She's a March birthday. She's early March. You tell me if she's a Pisces.
She's a Pisces.
You would know that.
That's why I like her already.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where I definitely like the part selection in here.
Yeah.
It's one of these sets where I would buy it probably. Apparently, Rachel's outing the exact time frame: 3 or 4 days. So 3 days usually, 4 days this year. March 2nd, same birthday as Dr. Seuss. For anyone who really wanted to know, it's one of those sets where I would buy it both for the set and for the parts, which just makes it all the better. But I probably have 3 of these in my closet right now.
Really?
Yeah, I need to. It's got dark red at the base, lots of slopes, and then dark green, and then the sand green too. So 3 colors I really like, all in one set.
Seeing the
So
same. Yeah, I was thinking about the same parts. The sand green, especially. I think we got some pieces in this set that aren't available in anywhere else in sand green.
you got the small wedge,
Yeah,
a couple other nice pieces, and these big green
yeah.
dome thingies. It's so hard to do it on camera to point the right
All
spot.
right. You're going the opposite direction you think you are.
Yeah,
Mm,
that's why I suppose it's you're supposed to set it mirrored, but or I
What's
am mirrored and I'm not supposed to be. I don't know. But there's the back, the handle basically built into the thing, so you can swoosh it around too.
what's the
Since it's sort of
radius
an awkward swoosher.
on those dark green curves? What's the radius?
I believe they're 3x3,
I thought so
three
too.
3x3. So
Get it,
it's a cool
Alex?
set. Very cool set. Again, Boba Fett Starship, not the slave one. Don't confuse it.
Yeah, we don't call it that anymore.
Yep.
Bad name.
Bad juju to put that on there.
All right, how we doing on our run of show there, friend?
Well, this is the issue with our run of show. It's all wrong because we
What?
just hit number 4, number
Yeah.
5. We're gonna talk some variety. the next show we already know is not next week, but it might be next week.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
we'll see what we do.
variety.
Variety. What
Variety.
do you mean by that? Because I don't know. Because you do the run a show, and I
Well,
don't know until I get here.
we're trying to expand the channel to
Yeah.
do other things.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to talk about the video that we posted like an hour now 4 ago.
We did.
Mark didn't know I made it, but I made it.
It's
It was
beautiful.
a Lego Fortnite video.
It's inspiring if you're not already playing Lego Fortnite. And I think we should hold this off.
Well, we'll talk. Yeah, I know we have a special outro where we'll
Yeah.
communicate a little more, but we're trying to expand to some more variety.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to do is talk about some. Mark already does some of this himself and does it well. Some
You.
techniques that we do when building mocks.
Yes.
So I want to try my hand at a couple of those as well. And I wanted to mention that I bought a turntable to display mocks for the camera.
Look at this.
Um,
Reed is playing Lego Fortnite right now.
well, Reed, if you want to know how to build an airship,
Yeah.
you can check out on Brick World events. We're gonna have a Fortnite one. I'll post some other stuff later too.
And
But
I'll do a little. I will do Ben a solid here and say not just build an airship, but build a multi-directional steerable
yes,
airship where you can bring multiple resources, the highest amount of resources from one biome to the other.
yeah, yeah,
If you have like multiple biomes and like you want to share resources between, he gives you a very easy solution and walks you through the entire process of building an airship that can take those resources from one biome to another. Right
funnest is
here on
not a
the
word,
channel.
Reed, but that's where you can see it. Funnest not a word. We'll do some other Fortnite stuff. We'll do some mock stuff. So I got this. So I bought this turntable like a month and a half ago, and I used it for the first time uh, at Bricks and Minifigs opening,
Oh,
and
that's
it could handle my big Falcon Fortress
good.
mock and spin
Really?
it at a decent speed all the way around. And it gives it a whole new dimension when you're able to be able to see the mock from all sides.
Ben, you and
Um,
Reed can actually connect on this because you guys hate each other now because of like your disagreement between like if Castle is good or Castle is bad.
Cast is stupid,
He's
yeah.
10 villages in all of the biomes in his world.
Duh.
So you should probably show up on a Friday Night Bricks episode because you guys can probably
Obviously,
talk about some of this stuff.
obviously, you got to be level 10 in all the biomes. Why does he think I am an amateur? But Reed, how annoying is it to get Bright Core to the Frostlands? That's why you got to watch my video. But we're gonna continue to stretch and do more than just a live stream, though we love the live stream.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
come
Ben,
back, check out more.
I've been doing some mock videos, and I created a video just off of the pagoda house because I changed it so much. I have a video going of like how to revisit a mock that you're building without any outside resources. And so that video will be up, I don't know, in the next month or so. Who knows? I never try to promise. However, we're also offering more resources in that I have an entire channel called Brick World Crossing that's all about me playing Animal Crossing. And the latest one that's coming up, and I've been working on it for over a month now, it's just me talking about how I develop a new area and how I design. There we go, an intended touch remark. Is how I go back to an area that I was in love with and how I redesign it and what I take with me and how I hit it several times. The same way I build out a Lego, where I'm just like I try and I try, and if I'm not happy, I just like kill it all and like go again. So we're trying to just like hit as many creative aspects of the community as possible. That's what we're about. We're about the creation. We talk a lot about news. We talk a lot about we gossip a bit, but it's mostly about like being part of just the creative community at large and having a hobby that helps you express yourself and talking about different ways in which to express yourself in that. So that is absolutely what we're about. So if you like this, idea of expanding your creative universe in Lego and other formats, like we're talking about Fortnite and Animal Crossing. Please like the stream. Please subscribe to us. Please comment on our videos and the live stream. Of course, we will definitely hit you right up like this. If you comment and say something like, "A resource ship would be good to see. Last attempt failed to work as I tried something I saw in a video." Well, Ben has a video that works, and
It does.
I have
A
no
little
idea.
bit of caution, and I'll even talk about it in the video, but it works.
And I have no idea about Lego Fortnite, but I watched his video and I was like, "This is cool. I I can get into this." And what excited me about it is that it gives people who are playing Lego Fortnite a resource to do a specific thing. He knows how to do it, so he's sharing his knowledge, and that's what we're about as well. And so if you're about this as well, which I feel like most of the Tainted is, they're here. And when we ask for feedback, they give us feedback and they share their knowledge. And that's why this is a great community. And we want to continue to build this community. And even if we only have like 20 viewers every week for the rest of our existence in the stream, that's what we're about, is about sharing our experience, sharing resources with you, sharing ways to enhance the way you enjoy your hobby, especially when it comes to Lego building. But we're getting into as many aspects of the community as possible. So please join us, because that's what we're about. And we very much care about the way that you experience it as well. And so we're trying to share what we've learned and learn more, of course, because Ben, do you ever reach the point where you're like, "I've learned everything, I'm good"?
No, never once.
No.
And every time I'm building, I always go, man, I've done this technique 7 times. I should try something different.
Yeah.
But this technique works. I'm just too stubborn to try something new. Then you finally try something new, and you love it. It's like, oh, now I just should just use this every time I build something. No, there's another iteration out there, and you'll find it if you just leave yourself open to it.
And for
So
example, that's what excited me about tonight and sharing what I built, is that there was like a bit of an even response to like the two different techniques that I was
yeah,
wondering about, that I should like switch between one or the other. And there was a very heavy, a positive response to one, but then when we talked about the other one that I liked better,
yeah,
people saw it as it went and like came up with other ways to like support my preference towards that, into like, well, if you enhance it this way, maybe it would look as good as this thing that you've already done on the left. And so it's kind of like it it's fun for me. It's like I really enjoy this aspect of like community building. In
yeah.
A, the aspect of like we're building together as a community, and B, we are building a community together. I love that aspect of it, and I hope we continue.
Wow. Oh, dang it! I forgot my Bob Ross figures, Mark.
Yes, who is the squirrel? Did you ever Google it?
His name is Peapod. Never
Yeah.
heard of him. They have Bob Ross figures. I found a couple of them at my local Target. Of course, I bought them, so I have one for me and one for Mark. So I'll bring it to Milwaukee, and you can have yourself a Bob Ross on screen.
Super Gene.
Um,
Yeah, I would love that.
Super generous. There was another comment after that one, if you want to read
Oh,
it.
okay.
Generous, yeah. It was coming. It was coming.
Like,
But I do have that, and so we always during our show like to promote uh, our little tagline with Bob Ross. Before we get to that, I want to say that topic was supposed to be about the variety of the channel, but
yeah,
this particular show ended up having all the variety you could want. We laughed, we cried,
dear
we
Lord.
we had mocks, we talked news, we talked crap about Reed. We did everything. So if you like variety and you just want just Lego, well, sometimes you're gonna get more. We talked Botox, we talked flowers, we talked Super Bowl, we talked everything.
Ace won't move.
We talked everything. So if you want variety, a little bit of spice of life,
I do
this
love
is
that.
where you come.
And like just to throw it back to the beginning of the live stream, I think it's very important that we remember those that we've lost, and we lost two very important Brickworld contributors this year. We'll get to them. I will not talk about them right now. But like there are so many aspects of this community where it's like we've built a new family. And that's what this live stream is about every week, is about building that family and like drawing people in and like making sure that we have resources for the rest of our lives that we can look back at when Ben and I are both gone. Like something you can look back at and say, like, this is how we revisit our creativity. This is how we are passionate about what we're building. And this is like, hey, look back to 2024 when these weird Star Wars sets came out. What people said about them. It's a little bit about everything. So just for future reference, if you want to join our live stream, we're always going to go community first in the aspect that we are building stuff that we want feedback on. So the first hour is always going to be about mock building. Second hour, we're going to get into Lego news. And the third hour, if it happens, we're going to talk gossip and just random Lego chat.
Those numbers, they stretch a little as we hit the 3-hour mark today.
We might cry in the first 20 minutes about.
We might. Who
love.
knows?
Who knows?
But it's variety is the spice of life. So I don't think we're going to change anything. People love talking when we get to the news sections.
Yes.
I hope people enjoy the first hour too. But hey, we're going to keep going. Next week,
yes.
Who knows what we're going to do exactly? There will be something.
We might
think outside the blocks. We just don't know what it'll be yet.
Yeah, we might meet in 6 days. Ben and I have to get together and figure out exactly what's going to happen. If we don't meet on Saturday, we'll give some sort of pre-recorded something for Sunday, but we'll all be enjoying the Super Bowl, so I don't think anything that we post on Sunday would be watched much. But in the meantime, Ben, have you already put up the Bob Ross quote?
I haven't told the Bob Ross. I've got my finger hovering over it. But remember what Bob told us. There are no mistakes. Only happy accidents. Keep building.
And here's our outro. So Ben brought us something new this week, which is super exciting. If you are part of the LEGO community and you are also into gaming, if you've already been a fan of Fortnite, if you are also already a fan of LEGO Fortnite, you will very much love this. However, if you don't know what we're talking about with LEGO Fortnite, check this out because there's a very fun aspect of the LEGO community growing right now, and Ben is at the forefront of it. And what's beautiful about how Ben is experiencing this is that he loves to play it with his kids. But I think Ben's favorite moment of the night is when the kids go to sleep and he can play LEGO Fortnite by himself. However, either way, no matter what aspect of the community that you're part of, Ben has come up with a beautiful tutorial about how to move resources from one biome to another using all of the prefabricated buildings that you have in Fortnite to build a multi-directional ship that you can fly from one biome to the other and carry all your resources quickly and easily. And so if you're into this, you want to know this. And here's Ben showing us how to build a multi-directional airship to carry resources from one biome to the other. This is just an intro. So if you like the intro, please check out the Brickworld YouTube channel for the full video on how to build this type of ship. See you next week. Enjoy the outro. Love you all for being here.
Welcome, Brickworld family. I'm one of your normal hosts, E. Cerberus, here on the Brickworld channel, where we come at you live every Sunday on Think Outside the Blocks, our weekly live stream where Brickworld owner Mark Larson and I talk about all things LEGO creativity, including our own builds and the LEGO news. But today we're coming at you with something a little different, and that's because I've been bitten by the LEGO Fortnite bug, and I've spent a lot of time trying to move resources from one biome to another. I've come up with my best solution, which is to build an airship that can transfer a large amount of resources in between the various locations. As you can see here, I have 4 large, actually I think they're epic sized chests in the middle of my airship here. and then I have thrusters attached independently to these little push bars so that I can fly my ship in every direction. You just saw there, you can find other YouTube videos about how to make a simple airship, but for me, I wanted to build something a little more complicated that was capable of transferring large amounts of things, such as all of the bright core that you see here, from one biome like the desert to another like the Frostlands. So in order to transport all this stuff, I had to come up with a system to have a whole bunch of chests, these large chests like this, able to be moved from one biome to another. There's a pretty simple way to make a hot air balloon featuring a single platform, or maybe even a few balloons, where you just add weight to one side or the other to make the platform turn. I, on the other hand, went a little crazy here by creating 4 sets of thrusters that are independently controllable via these switches to move around the lands. That also necessitated that I build some sort of landing pad for my airship in the various biomes where I like to gather resources. And the reason that I did this is because if you park an airship on the ground with a bunch of chests in it with some material that you want to transport from one biome to the next, you could run into trouble if your airship gets destroyed by a mob. Usually it ends up being a brute, or if you park too close to the shore, it's possible that your airship could end up sinking into the ocean and you could lose everything inside the chests. So what I do